Tonight on the Black Channel, the old black media tried, the old black media failed again. The Black Channel is live. Unapologetic, unadulterated, and absolutely uncompromising. Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world, and welcome back to the home, the haven, the stronghold, and the everlasting super fortress of intelligent black thought. We are the Black Media, and this is the Black Channel. And I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the voice of Black America, the Black Authority, broadcasting to you live from the only historically black college university of higher education and learning in the cosmos. You are, of course, welcome to join us. And join us you shall, because on tonight's program here, folks, there are stories that come out and there's just dimensions to it, and number of things we have to cover here, but let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning here. And you know, I'm far from one to kick a man or a woman while they're down, but they're right there by my foot. So, a couple of years ago, we had the grand opening right before the grand closing. The Grio, Byron Allen's little tax deferment, write-off, deduction, write-down, whatever in the hell that's supposed to be going on over there. You figure he is just doing a whole bunch of write-offs at this point. Gotta be, because he's certainly not making any money. None of this. He's making money off those cable TV contracts by forcing them to carry his channels, because he's damn sure not making any money off the programming. But in any case. So you'll all remember here a couple of years ago, they had their little announcement. The Grio podcasters, Ebony K. Williams, Lamont Hill, add TV duties, and we're gonna make them in charge of something. Put them in charge of something. Well, only a scant couple of years later here, grand opening, grand closing. The Grio is gonna lay off its video, podcasting, managing editor, over strategic changes. Strategic changes, this sounds like a strategic fallback, which is another word for a retreat. So, all right. Found that to be very interesting there. Yes, sir, it is not going well. Jason, are you overblowing it? No, I'm not overblowing it at all. Take a look here and you can see from the wrap, and they were showing about this, the Grio is going to be laying them off left, right, and center. And man, oh man, it's a hell of a time to be them, which means it's not going very well for them at all. The Grio, Byron Allen's multi-platform media outlet. What? Excuse me? Really? Is this their version of the events? Laid off staffers in a restructuring effort that is eliminating the managing editor's position according to an individual with knowledge of the situation. Quote, the axe is falling at the Grio. An individual with knowledge of the situation told the Wrap. I wonder if that was Byron Allen calling to say that. Members of the podcast and video team have also been laid off, along with managing editor Christy Oglesby, the individual said. Quote, Allen Media Group is making strategic changes to better position the company for growth that will result in expense and workforce reductions across all divisions. Well, did you get that? Allen Media Group is making strategic changes to better position the company for changes across the board. Well, better position the company for growth better position it for growth. You mean there's not growth happening right now? Across will result in expense and workforce reductions across all divisions. Expense and workforce reductions. Expense and workforce, that means a whole bunch of folk getting ready. This is beyond the Grio. If you work for Byron Allen, you might want to start floating your resume now. Byron has taken care of himself and his wife and his mansions. But yeah, if you work for Byron Allen, you need to go to Indeed, jobs.com, Monster, if it's still out there, LinkedIn. It is time to start floating your portfolio. Time for you to start floating that resume. You see this? Better position the company for growth. They then go on to say here that the company brands continue to perform well. They continue to perform well. He's laying a whole bunch of folk off, but everything's fine. Continue to perform well in the many areas. Our revenue growth has greatly outpaced the market. Folks, they ain't said a word about profitability. We've outpaced the market. What market are you referring to, sir? We are aligning these changes to drive future business opportunities and support our growth strategies in our rapidly evolving industry. All this don't mean nothing because this right here is what goes for Byron Allen. In March, Allen Media Group reached a new multi-year agreement with Charter Communications that will allow the Spectrum owner to continue to carry the group's offerings, including the Grio. So he's getting paid up front. The rest of y'all are being shown the damn door. He's getting paid up front. So he's taking care of himself. He's taking care of himself. Right there. He's taking care of himself. So the rest of y'all get by however in the hell you're going to get by. But he's taking care of himself. There are some abject lessons to be learned here. This was just last year. Ebony K. Williams to star in Equal Justice Court series with Allen Media Group. Yeah, about that. Anybody been watching that? Anybody been watching it? Anybody? Nobody at all? Nobody? Really? Okay. Well, you all have been missing compelling TV or whatever it is. Okay. All right, look. They tried, okay? This was January of this year. Take a look at this. This is January of this year. January this year. The Grio earns, maybe they bought, multiple NAACP Image Award nominations. Did you all know this? Did you all know this? Did you all know that that's what they've been doing? Nobody didn't know. You didn't know they were doing that? And they running the NAACP awards, and then we got multiple NAACP Image Award nominations here. Yeah, that's what we have going on there. Sound familiar? You should. And of course, who do they show here? Now, yes, I am going to spend some quality time putting the boots to Mark Lamont Hill. Now, I got to say a couple of things here. Someone please tell me, how the hell good of a businessman can Byron Allen possibly be if he's hiring Mark Lamont Hill for anything? Can someone please explain to me, show me where Mark Lamont Hill has drawn money or an audience for anyone who has ever hired him. They'll sit up here and have guys like Mark Lamont Hill and then tell you that black media can't make no money and can't draw an audience. No, Mark Lamont Hill can't draw one. If you all agree with that statement that Mark Lamont Hill is the worst investment you can possibly make if you're starting a media company, give me the television emoji in the chat room and hit the likes button for me. It's over 2,500 people in here live in just the first 10 minutes. And just keep some of those numbers in mind also here. Keep some of those numbers in mind for us also. But if you agree with me, give me the television emoji in the chat room and hit the likes button for me. Or we'll go ahead and wrap it up early. That'll work too. So, Mark Lamont Hill, folks, every time you turn around here, he's getting bounced and booted from one place to another. And the problem is that this is bad business. He's a reliable bootlick, but problem is ass-kissing bootlicks are unprofitable. That's the problem. Mark Lamont Hill can neither draw nor hold an audience. Now, of course, Roland Martin sat up here, and because he couldn't squeeze or sponge any money off of Byron Allen. Obviously, what this means is Byron Allen did not let Roland sponge any money. Didn't let Roland do it. So Roland goes ahead and makes a 13-minute piece here. Y'all let me know you should have paid me. That's what you did wrong. You didn't pay me. Roland Martin, who spends all of his time in constant fundraising and begging mode, shaking down anybody and any corporate sponsor he can possibly find or corner in a dark alley somewhere. But what I want to show you here is in the comment section. That's what I want to do here. We're going to fast forward down the comment section. Now, you see this right here. It says, at least Mark has his own YouTube channel. We'll come back to that one there. We'll come back to that one. One word to describe Roland Martin: passionate. First comment, also sellout would apply. He does what the Dems tell him to. Roland responded, you on crack. So Roland took grievous exception to that one. Please, Mr. Roland, keep the real issues as topics. All right. So y'all got to understand, the little old church ladies, they doing what they do. But this other comment up here, I'm talking about Mark Lamont Hill. Well, at least Mark has his own YouTube channel. Now, you take a look at here. You go down through the comments, and there's Roland. I pushed him to launch it. Really, nigga? I pushed him to launch it. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Roland Martin's sterling media leadership can do for you. Well, Mark Lamont Hill's YouTube channel, I'm taking a look at it right now, and folks, with the combined superpowers of MSNBC, CNN, Byron Allen, Roland Martin, the Tooth Fairy, Jack and Jill jumping over the hill, Mark Lamont Hill has a grand total of 128,000 subscribers. So needless to say, we spank him walking away. But it's not just subscribers either. This is Mark's YouTube channel, folks. And let me tell you, it is a sad, shameful. Folks are going to think I'm just sitting here roasting him. All I'm doing is reporting the news. Mark, I just thought we'd walk through this one time. As we're not even going to start, the thing from an hour ago, 172 views. I get 2 or 3 times as many likes before I start live streaming as Mark Lamont Hill has gotten viewers in the last hour. That means that his audience, the only thing he can do for them is point them towards another program. The only thing he can do for them is point them towards another program. That's all he can do. That is it. Not a thing more. He can't do anything at all. Nothing. Nothing at all. Did you get that? He's had plenty of time. He had plenty of time. 6 hours ago, he got 6,000 views. No. That's an outlier. That is an outlier. 8 hours ago, okay, he's been out there stomping for it. Nope, 10 hours ago, 3,000 views. 1 day ago, 525 views. 1 day ago, 3,000 views. 1 day ago, 1,600 views. 2 days ago, 4,000 views. Mark Lamont Hill battles Jason Whitlock, so he's got to name drop Jason Whitlock. He's got to name drop Jason Whitlock. He has to name drop Jason Whitlock. That's the best he can do with Jason Whitlock. He throws Jason Whitlock's name out there. Then you go down here, folks. His views are not in the thousands. They're in the hundreds. This is him. If he name drops, his channel can get views if he's talking to or about somebody other than himself. Mark Lamont Hill cannot get significant views unless he's talking to or about someone other than himself. He got to bring in somebody else who actually does have an audience and take a look. Spike's big and then the very next damn thing. Lamont is so interesting that his audience doesn't return. That tells you that this is not Mark Lamont Hill's audience for this 71,000 views. This is Don Lemon's audience, not Mark's. This is Don Lemon's audience, not Mark's. Not Mark's at all. Not at all. Y'all understand that. Here he is. Georgia governor bans immigrants from land. Immigrants. So now Mark Lamont Hill is here for China. These are the guys that they're bringing in to be spokespeople and can't figure out why they can't launch. Can't figure out why they can't launch. This is what in the world they're doing here, and you can't figure it out. So the numbers weren't obvious enough 4 days ago. Oh, Jason, you're being brutal to him here. You can go back days. You can go back weeks if you'd like to. You can go back weeks if you like to. It's not like he was hitting big and fell off. People, he failed to launch. He's failed to launch. Over and over again. It doesn't matter how much damn time you give him. This is after what? Over a couple of decades of being on cable TV. And this is the best Mark Lamont Hill can do for himself. People, how in the hell is it that you're on cable television for decades and you got numbers in the hundreds? Numbers in the hundreds. Decades. Once again, if he brings on someone other than himself, he can make it if he brings on someone other than himself. Take a look at this one. State lets transgender athletes compete. You know, Mark is there for it. By the way, that's his agenda. Folks, come on now. Come on. We can keep going back even further here. Views in the hundreds. Now, what this tells you is there's a big ass difference between so-called subscriber numbers and actual followers. That's the issue. Big difference. Big difference. Once again, he can sucker in some views if he talks to somebody other than himself. Very next video, this is how great this conversation went. Take a look at the next couple of videos he posts. They drop thousands, hundreds. Yeah, that's how great these spikes do for him. The audience immediately leaves. So like I say, we can keep going back, but this isn't surprising. It's not shocking. This is what Mark has always done. He's never put points on the board. He's never made any scores of any significance. He's never driven an audience. I mean, dating talk show host and the last couple of networks and things. And so when you see this kind of stuff here, what happened is they attempted to become the new black media. And what happened was most likely Byron Allen took a look at Ebony K. Williams and said, well, she's the kind of chick that floats his boat. And Mark Lamont Hill, well, he's a weak metrosexual who is a challenge to nobody. He'll challenge no authority. He's just looking for a job. You see, folks, if you want to hire real talent, then what that means, and Byron knows this, what it means is that if you're the boss, you got to be willing to hire people who are better than you. If you are the best and smartest person at your company is doomed to failure. You, or at least is not going to be able to grow nearly as much as it could. You need to make sure you got other folk around you who are as smart or smarter. That's how you expand and that's how you innovate. Byron Allen doesn't do that. He's looking for useful lackeys and useful flunkies. And he figures, well, as long as I give them a big enough rocket on their backs, it doesn't matter what their marginal talent is. They'll draw an audience. What happened was Byron Allen fell for the damn bait. He fell for the bait. He went to Twitter and took a look at Mark Lamont Hill's Twitter following and said to himself, well, certainly that represents something, doesn't it? On Twitter, Mark Lamont Hill has over 500,000 Twitter followers. At least that's what it shows you. So you would figure that, well, this is easy money. All he's got to do is bring in, what, 20% of that following? And surely we can start a broadcast around it. That's what they were thinking. They're thinking the call me daddy strategy and whatnot. What they didn't want to take a look at was by the simple reality. Take a look at the long tail. Mark Lamont Hill doesn't have a following. Mark doesn't have a following, and he never has. So this highlights just how astute a business person Byron Allen is. He hires people who don't have a following. They don't have any significant numbers. Ebony K. Williams' claim to fame is getting clowned on the internet. Ebony K. Williams is not controversial. Ebony K. Williams is a laughingstock. That's the issue. It's not going to work for Ebony. Ebony is not a black female that other black females envy, nor is she a black female that black men who ain't struggling living under a freeway overpass want to be with. That's the issue. Ebony's not hard on the eyes. No, she's just hard on the ears, hard on the brain, hard on sensibilities, hard on decency. She's just hard on everything else. Find a little cute light-skinned chick. Won't that work? Why don't we go ahead and give her a courtroom show? Okay, just Judge Hatchett. Work for Judge Hatchett? This is the simple-minded calculus, and if you want to know why it is these big white corporations don't have a problem throwing money at Byron Allen, now you know why. He's not a threat. He's not threatening anything. He's Bob Johnson of BET all over again, except not as cool. Rinse and repeat. He doesn't know how to pick a team. All that money, all those resources, and he doesn't know how to pick a team. So the old black media attempted to walk their blind, crippled, and crazy asses over here into the internet, and they got stomped the hell out. Not a little bit. They got stomped the hell out. It's been brutal. What they found out is you're not just out of touch, you're just down and out. That garbage and that crap that plays over there in Ebony Magazine and that plays on the white corporate television networks, that don't fly in a free fire zone. That don't fly here. You ain't gonna make it. You can't fake it. And now you're finding out just how valid Mark Lamont Hill's supposed Twitter following actually is. It doesn't follow anywhere. It doesn't convert anywhere. It doesn't transport anywhere. He has no influence. He has no following. You want dead money? Throw it at Mark Lamont Hill. Somebody show me where he's ever grown an audience anywhere. Show me anybody he's gone to work for that he was able to bring home the bacon. Show me where somebody put him to work for them and they saw their numbers even incrementally grow. Mark Lamont Hill is a ratings and viewer killer. He's not a catalyst, he's a killer. And he's got a track record a decade long. So if you are in media and if you are bringing Mark Lamont Hill around for anything, then what that tells me is you certainly didn't bring him there for an audience. So what's your real reason? Because it's not an audience, because he doesn't have one. So what's your real reason? What's the real reason? Ebony K. Williams is not controversial. Ebony K. Williams is corny, not controversial. I'm not beating up on Ebony here. I'm just reporting the news, baby. You had your 5 minutes of fame. When you couldn't take down bus drivers, that's the universe trying to send you a message. She tried to do a takedown of bus drivers and the universe tried to send her a Morse code and she missed it. What Ebony K. Williams needs to do is she needs to find a black man who can actually host something and she just co-host under him until she figures out how to talk to the rest of the world, which she clearly simply doesn't know how to do. She knows how to throw jabs and invectives, but she doesn't know how to carry an audience. Even her contrary and controversial views are not interesting. The reason why, Ebony, is because unlike those of us in the new black media, you believe things, but you can't even articulate why you believe what you believe. That's the issue. You're a person without a unified ideology. And Byron the Bonehead Allen, yes, I'm talking to you, nigga. Byron the Bonehead Allen, who's been able to sit up here and sponge money off of these white networks because he's useful. They don't have Bob Johnson anymore. He's showing how inept he is. He thought you were controversial. You're not. You're just corny. You're corny, flat, and lame. Here's the problem, baby. It would be better if you were a reliable bed wench. You would be better off if you were a reliable bed wench. You know, if you were kissing white men's asses and you could do that reliably and stick to the damn script, That'd be different, but you are so obviously a shameless, feckless opportunist trying to get in where she fit in. And there's the issue. You don't have any real core beliefs. You don't believe in anything except yourself. That's the only thing you actually believe in is you, and even the jury's out on that one. So white men don't trust you anymore. Black men never trusted you. Black women don't want to be you. And white women don't even know you exist. They're like, this. We finally found a black female who is no threat to white women among white men whatsoever. And boy, she is trying her hardest like po lil tink tink. I'm not roasting Ebony. I'm just reporting the news. She isn't even able to perform as well as the bedwench hoes on YouTube. She can't even close that deal. She's not even able to do that one. That's an issue, baby. And we already covered her YouTube numbers, remember? Oh, man, am I going to do it? Sure, let's go ahead and do that. And we already covered her numbers. Remember, we did that a while back here. We already covered her numbers. And the real issue here is it's not about just being, quote, controversial. You go anywhere you go. This woman doesn't pull anything. Not for herself. Just like Mark Lamont Hill, she can get views if she does it with other people. She can't get it if she got to pull them for herself. It's not going to happen. Not beating up on her. This chick here has gone from chasing white men to chasing single motherhood to, it is just a weird, wild little show she got over there. And without core beliefs, you can't assemble an audience. You don't have a core audience. You don't have a foundation. She doesn't have any core beliefs that other people gravitate to and aggregate around and congregate around. She doesn't have it. She's an articulate chick who is outrageously abrasive to everyone. She can't even get fellow bedwenches to gather around her. Ebony K. Williams is like Fox Soul, just a little bit younger.
Auntie, chill.
That's who Ebony is. Ebony is Fox Soul, just a little younger. And by little, I do mean little. She's like the fifth Beatle of Fox Soul. Got them 4 chicks over there. She's like the 5th member of the group. She was there originally and then they kicked her out. She's like the Pete Best of Fox Soul. You damn near got to be ridiculed with the rest of them. You got kicked out too early. So it's like, didn't you used to host over there? Well, not really, but you might as well have. You might as well have. Let me explain to you why it is a dead stupid issue here. There's a dead stupid issue here because you cannot come to us and claim that you speak for us and you've never spoken for us. Ebony K. Williams has never spoken for black people. If she's never spoken for us, how the hell do you expect her to speak to us? That's the issue with Ebony K. Williams. You have no connection to the people. You have no connection to the soil. Nobody knows you. And by know you, I mean we don't recognize you as one of us. Kendrick Lamar, not like us. We don't recognize you as one of us. We've been watching you. There's nothing about your life that reflects or demonstrates that you are in any way connected to us or in any way identify with us. And then you're going to think up here and think that Byron Allen's money is going to give you instant credibility. Ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen. I would like to say that Ebony is being fake. The problem is I can't say that either. I think Ebony is just legitimately clueless. She's just legitimately clueless. She doesn't have a core. She doesn't have any core beliefs. She doesn't have anything to articulate. She's not, I would say she's phony. The problem is I think she's very sincere. She is sincerely clueless. And on paper, you would think she'd at least be able to fake her way through it. She can't do that either. Let me explain to you why that is, Ebony. The reason that you can't even fake it on paper is because you don't actually talk to any black people. You don't actually talk to anyone from the soil, just like Lamont Hill. All of you want to be elevated Negroes and professional degree having Negroes, and you go off here and the first thing you try to do is exit black society, but you can't get any elevation outside of black society. You can't gain the altitude, so you end up coming back beaten and whipped down with your tail between your legs back to black folk, and yet you don't know how to talk to us. You sit around in these white think tanks and these white universities and these white focus groups, and you don't know how to talk to us because you don't talk to any of us. The only black people you do talk to are other shameless, clueless, grifting ass kissers in your various fields, you know, like Michael Eric Dyson and Roland Martin and Monique Presley. Yes, I'm back on you, Heather. Those are the only quote unquote black people you talk to. You don't talk to any real black people. You just talk to feckless, shameless kiss-ups and suck-ups. You don't actually talk to any black people. You talk to black folk who sit up here and smile and joke with the dominant society while they're getting called nigga all the damn time and rationalize it away. You don't talk to the rest of us who live in the real world. So when somebody puts a microphone and a camera in front of your faces, you're uncomfortable in your own skin. You babble for hours. Hopefully nobody's listening to you for hours. Hopefully it's just minutes. You can be teed up for the most softball black subject possible, and you're gonna fumble the damn ball every time. Case in point, Mark Lamont Hill, you big ass dummy. Now, if you're gonna have a YouTube channel, Mark, you would think a person would have a little bit more sense. Take a look at this right here. Is the LGBT community getting good representation in Hollywood productions? Did you notice what Mark didn't put in that title? Now, I'm going to get to the rest of that in a moment. But did you notice the part that isn't even in the title? He didn't even say black LGBT. He didn't even say that. And that tells you who he's really here for. That tells you what he's really focused on. That tells you what he doesn't even have enough of a core to understand who the hell he's supposed to be talking to. He's talking to nothing but black folk about black folk. And yet for LGBT, does the LGBT community get good representation in Hollywood? You go to Hollywood and say something bad about LGBT and see how long you stay there. You can talk trash about black folk all year. Since when has anybody sat up here and tried to lie and say that gay people are not welcome in Hollywood? That gay people don't get all the best roles in Hollywood? Who in the hell is going to sit up here and try to lie and say that? That's like saying do white people get good representation in country music? Do white people get good representation at the polka dance convention? And you can see that folk are like, man, get me the hell away from this garbage. 525 views in over 24 hours. This is an insult to people's intelligence. And this is the best Mark Lamont Hill can come up with when left to his own devices. And that thumbnail, the expression on his damn face, says it all. Look at this garbage over here. He's trying to tell us how to be revolutionaries. Yeah, this is an issue that the black community wants to see, right? This is what we want to see. Right here. When he does want to talk about, he didn't even follow the damn numbers here. We're talking about white fragility here. You had 3 times the numbers. He's not even smart enough to follow that. Byron Allen and anybody else, you can see how clueless and out of touch Mark is. You can see how clueless and out of touch he is. You shouldn't need a seeing eye dog to point that out to you. When he is given an opportunity to speak and a platform and a microphone, he vomits all over himself. He grabs issues we're not concerned about. That's what he's focused on. You know why? Because he doesn't talk to any real black people. That's the reason. This is what flies among the pencil-headed geeks that he hangs out with. And then Byron Allen, I damn sure hope that you hired him on contingency. I hope you haven't been paying him all this time. Y'all, wouldn't it be a damn shame if Byron Allen has actually been paying these two numbskulls all this time? Wouldn't that be a damn shame if Byron Allen has been paying them all this time? Are you kidding me? I know he hasn't been paying them. Byron, you saw these numbers and you cut them a check? I'm hoping you're not that inept of a business person that you took a look at these numbers and said, oh, let me add him to the payroll. Help pay off that house. I'm hoping he was smart enough not to do that. But I want to ask you all a different question now. I'm warning you in advance, it's gonna be a controversial one. No. I'm not being hyperbolic. Some of y'all are gonna say yes. A bunch of you are probably gonna say no, but I want to ask a controversial question. You know what? I'm going to put a poll up in the super chat. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a poll up in the super chat. And it's a serious question. I'm going to put a poll up in the super chat and I'm going to allow you all to vote on it. We'll allow you all to vote on it. You'll be allowed to make the call. We're going to go ahead and take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. And then we'll go ahead and put that up. In the meantime, I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program. Miss Harrington, thank you very much for your support. My brother Jean, Frederick, thank you very much for your support as well. And all the rest of you here who become members on the channel here tonight, we appreciate that as well to all of you. Thank you very much for joining us. We're going to take a very brief commercial, non-commercial break. When we come back, I'm going to run a poll. I'm going to let you all make the next decision here. This is the Black Channel.
Hello, my name is Steve Burgess, and I'm the author of this book, Guidelines for the Successful Student, a closer look at parenting your school-aged child. In this book, I've explained the role of the parent and the student in addition to what accommodations, procedures, rewards and consequences and expectations that need to be in place to ensure student success from primary to high school. This book is available on Amazon.com. For more information, please visit my link tree at Easy One-on-One. And to access my latest podcast, A Teaching Moment with Mr. B. Thank you all for listening.
A white supremacist assassin seeks revenge. Corrupt FBI agents with evil intentions. Dangerous black collaborators dedicated to treason. Occam Jeffers must defeat them all and somehow survive. One misstep and he's a dead man. Join Occam Jeffers as he looks the devil in his blue eyes and tells him, Black First. A sequel to the underground hit War of the Heart, Spirit of 1811 Publishing presents God Love Us, on sale at Amazon. Pre-order and save today. Visit spiritofo1811publishing.com and show your love.
Order yours today to experience all the benefits of Ash Kickin' Body Butter. With skin so smooth and soft, you'll thank us for it. Shop Ash Kickin' online. That's ASHKICKIN.com.
Hi, this is Brenda Starr, creator of Poetry with a Purpose and author of the book Pressed But Not Crushed. Pressed But Not Crushed is an anthology of political poems that address current and historical issues in American descendants of slave population and African American population. The book describes slaveries and its residuals, Jim Crow segregation, social depredation, and other relevant issues to American descendants of slaves and African Americans, including the current political climate that does not address our issues.
This is the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. Very glad to be with you all here this evening. And we're about to pull up a poll here. And fair warning in advance, controversial question incoming. But there we go. Let's go ahead and throw that up in there. Yes, your Humpty eyes do not deceive you. I'm putting up a poll in the chat room here. Should we here at the Black Channel, should we offer Ebony K. Williams a gig? Since I heard that recently she is looking for work. What? I told you all it would be controversial. But since we've recently had it announced that Ebony is looking for work, and as I said, she needs to be in a place where she can actually talk to some real black folk. It can do nothing but help her credentials, believe me. No, I wouldn't offer Mark Lamont Hill to shine my windshield. I wouldn't offer Mark Lamont Hill to take out my garbage. I cannot trust that he wouldn't do it right. In the chat room there, Whoa Fat. Go ahead and have WoFat give us a call here. By the way, let me go ahead and the telephone lines are open here. Mr. WoFat wants to know what makes this the Black Channel. So Mr. WoFat is going to have his opportunity to call in here. He's got, in his case, I will give him 1 minute. Usually we give y'all a couple minutes. But for Mr. SoFat, we'll go ahead and give him 1. The telephone lines are open for Mr. WoFat, and he can go ahead and give us a call. And by the way, once again, he's got about 60 seconds here to be on the line for us, and we'll be glad to go ahead and have that discussion with him. And that's perfectly fine, or he can take a permanent vacation as well, and that works for us just as well here, but he'll have his opportunity to do that. By the way, you do ask an interesting question there, Mr. WoFat. You do have an interesting question. What makes us the Black Channel? What makes us that? Although there are actually better questions you could be asking. I will just assume that it's the lead paint that's getting in your way there, but there are actually better questions you could be asking. Instead of asking what makes us the Black Channel other than hundreds of thousands of people, you should ask a different question. Why are these other people not? Because you see, while we're talking about the Grio, this all has a very eerily similar feel to it, doesn't it? If you'll all kindly guide your attention to the screen there. By the way, it does have a rather eerily similar feel to another would-be upstart network. Does anybody out there still remember the so-called Black News Channel? Anybody remember them? And all the wonderful things they were going to do, remember? Wow, they had a rich owner behind them too, remember? They were going to make incredible things happen too, remember? Remember that? Yeah, that's what we thought was going to happen, and lo and be damn hold. Yeah, it didn't go quite that way at all. So like I say, yeah, I've seen this before. Seen this film here before. We've had them sit up here and start up networks and swear up and down what was going to happen and how great it was going to be. And yeah, we've seen this before. And it always ends the same way. It always ends the same way. Hey, look. The issue here is that you can only be fake for so long. You can only be fake for so long. You can't be fake forever. Eventually, it runs out. Roland Martin has sucked up all the ass-kissing viewers. There's no room for another butt-kissing network out there. There's no room for it. And you're not going to make room for it. There's no room to grow. So the only way you can is if you emulate the new black media. You try to talk like us and see if you can shave off a few knuckleheads who don't know any better. Some of the ADHD kids, see if you can carve off a few of them. But it all goes bad if you stick around long enough. Look, people watch Roland Martin because he's the comic relief. I mean, it's just the bottom line. There's no... All the little old church ladies, they know about him, but he's the comic relief. That's all he's expected to be. So the rest of you can't rise. Let me go ahead and get over here to the phone lines. We'll see if Mr. Woe Fat has called in. Caller from area code 501. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Jason, it's Brandon from Flint, Michigan.
Okay, it doesn't sound like Mr. Woe Fat, so I guess we'll have to see him on his way.
Yeah.
What's on your mind, Brandon?
Yeah, man, I just wanted to go ahead and call in and say that, man, most definitely you're on point tonight with a lot of these networks, because it just seems like to me with a lot of these news networks, they are just trying to find a way to create a news outlet or a platform where they can just create and rubber stamp black representatives. These networks are just failing one after another. The black news channel that failed after only about a year, which we know Mark Lamont Hill was fired from and crying about. I mean, they are just keep trying these platforms and these networks over and over again. They keep failing, putting in hundreds of millions alone into that BNC. And they just keep dumping money into it, and these guys just keep failing over and over again. So it just must be they are just trying to create a platform that they can just bring on whoever they want to and be our representatives, where they can just create their own representatives for our culture, and it's just not working.
Yeah, I mean, certainly they're dumping a lot of money into it. You can't call it profit because there is no profit. So the real question is,
of course,
where is all this money coming from? And why? Now that's the real question. Yeah, we see, Shahad Khan, we see Byron Allen, and every once in a while Jeff Bezos throwing $100 million. And the real question is, where is this money really coming from? And why?
Most definitely. That is the main question in these bets, because by now these guys would have went broke if they were really just trying to do this. Anybody, if this was really out of their pocket, or if they were doing any type of financial research, they would know that trying to create something like this is just really a dead end. That stuff has never made them any type of profits in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Trying to create these false narrative black news channels or black news networks, it loses money. It has never made a profit, so it must be coming from somewhere else. Must be our government pushing it in. Is my best suggestion, because there is no financially competent person in the world that would ever think that pushing into a black news channel or a black network or any of this stuff will actually be possible if you do not have credible grassroots people into it. It does not work. You can't rubber stamp and falsify black credibility. It has never worked. It will not work. We're not going for it. We're not going to be duped into it by any means necessary. So most definitely, this is most definitely an agenda, and I'm glad they're failing about it.
I submit to you.
B1, brother, I'll let you get on.
Thank you very much for giving us a call. I submit to you all that the money is coming from the same places it's always come from. I've told you now, going on 2 decades, white supremacy requires investment. You can't maintain this structure if you don't have investment. And the issue is that, you know, they would rather put $100 million into Jason Whitlock so he can get 10,000 extra eyeballs. That's 10,000 morons you didn't know otherwise. Think about that. So I'm telling you right now, it's going to be something that you're going to want to follow there. When you take a look at the money here, these are investments. Yeah, they're sinking money into it. And when you see it over and over, do you all realize these people aren't that dumb? Do you really think these folks are that dumb? That when they get over here, they've gotten this position and all of a sudden they're just making the most stupid financial decisions you could possibly imagine. Only when they gotten over here. They're not that stupid. So if they're spending this money like this, they're doing it for a reason. And I submit to you that they did get what they wanted. I submit to you that they did get what they wanted. The job here is to see if you can rehabilitate the images of some of these people, because those are the only ones you're going to put it into here. White supremacy. I want y'all to understand that this is the true black tax. Propagandizing black people is the true black tax, because you can't get any of these people that you hire to be any sort of substantive influence. So you're just going to be throwing money down the drain. They're never going to pay for themselves. Nobody hires Mark Lamont Hill thinking that he's going to pay for himself unless you are just delusional and lunatic. So if you are throwing money at it, it must be because you're hoping that every once in a while he'll say something that might resonate. Or you're hoping that if you dump enough money into him, you can rehabilitate it, although you should be smart enough to understand that that won't happen. So yeah, it looks real suspicious when you have a group of people who've never influenced anyone, never drawn a dime, never had any sort of influence or sway, and yet hundreds of millions of dollars are being invested on their behalf. No, I don't think that's accidental. Call from area code 904. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, this is Sean. I'm calling from Jacksonville, Florida.
All right, Sean from Jacksonville. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I'll be super brief. Number one, Roland's a huge liar. He's running around saying that 65% of his audience is black men. I don't believe that. And also, I'm just curious if you think that
I mean, it makes perfect
sense. You think he does?
Yeah, I mean, 60% of his audience is black men. Absolutely. They old, they crippled, the civil rights generate, the old Tom Joyner audience, the deacons at the church. Yeah, that's Roland Martin's audience. Yeah, absolutely. And the little old church deacons and little old church deaconesses, that's Roland Martin's audience. They are all perpetually stuck in 1978, talking about Jimmy Carter, talking about the dangers of Reagan, talking about how the kids need to pull their pants up. So that's who you got. It's like Soul Train forever. The Tom Joyner Morning Cruise forever. They're all just frozen in time over there with him. So, yes, that is his audience. 60% of it male. Yeah. Though, but the question, you have to put an asterisk about the males. You need to know which males they are. They're not young.
Right.
They're not progressive. They're not innovative. These are all the old ass retired. Look, brother, I said this 4 years ago when Biden was running. Remember, Roland Martin said it. Roland Martin said, see, the problem is you dumbass young people there. Biden don't even need y'all. The older folks gonna carry this, but Biden don't need y'all young folk. Roland meant what he said.
Yep.
He meant what he said. So he knows who his audience is. When they show up, when they were down there in New Orleans, Essence Festival, whatever, it's just a bunch of old niggas with their 1979 Cadillac Fleetwood Broughams pulling up. Or maybe one of them, somebody having something a little bit newer. And they got the big old long Chevy Tahoe, and that's all they are. So no, if you've ever seen your church revival, that's his audience.
B1.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight here. Like I say, just 60%, 65% of his audience is male. Absolutely. Old, crippled, crazy, delusional, lifetime Democrat voters here, do anything for $1, and silliness and stupidity follows and ensues. Absolutely. James Clyburn supporters. I want folks to understand, when I was saying this going on 20 years ago, when I said you can't trust these old niggas, and when I said it, it was controversial and there was swooning, and a bunch of y'all who listen to me now didn't, you have to call them respect the elders. And here we are almost 2 decades later, and I've never stopped saying it. You know why? Because we talk about black society. Now, I want to get into something right quick with you all. We talk about black society being a matriarchy. That's what folks talk about. About black society being a matriarchy. But in reality, it's not about matriarchy. I mean, it is, don't get me wrong. Matriarchy is certainly an issue here. But you're actually in a gerontocracy. Look it up. We're actually victims of a gerontocracy. All the geriatrics. All the hopelessly old people who took the wealth, stole the wealth, squandered the wealth, and now they're no longer sexually viable. Oh, I'm getting off in y'all. They're no longer sexually viable. They used all that up back in the 70s and 80s. So now we're in a gerontocracy. Yeah, all the old bastards, they aborted the young kids, as many of them as they could. Oh, I said it. And now everything you look for, everybody, I want y'all to understand something. We don't even get to in white society, they talk about young white females. When they talk about who's hot and who's attractive, and they talk about young white females. They have a steady conveyor belt over it. In black society, we still talking about damn me, Pam Grier. Even if you say Beyonce, she's well past 40 now. No dissing Beyonce. I'm just saying we don't really get to have that young thing. Everything over here is Depends commercials and Colonial Penn, damn it. You take a look at our so-called political leadership. Sheila Jackson Lee, Maxine Waters, James Clyburn. Everybody's got a damn AARP card. We don't have any young, vibrant folk around here. We've been talking about matriarchy for so long, but by the way, did you notice who runs this damn thing over here? It's a bunch of hopelessly old people. Nobody tries to groom and prepare the next heirs to take over. Let me be controversial here again. Respect to Minister Louis Farrakhan. Jason, are you really gonna go there? I'm not saying nothing that ain't been said in the Nation of Islam now for 2 decades. I'm not saying nothing that ain't been said for 2 decades. Respect to the minister. But can we keep it real? You take a look at every organization that was out there when Louis Farrakhan was coming up. They've handed the reins to the next generation. And not just one of them. They handed the reins to 2, 3, 4, 5. That's why we can't knock them off. When the alt-right rose to power, taking down Richard Spencer was not enough. You take a look at the Nation of Islam, the NAACP core, and I can't even call them senior citizens. You've got octogenarians. And if they hang in there long enough, centenarians. Or centenarians. And what I'm saying is, wait a minute. That's not good strategy. Yes, we can all name a bunch of younger fellas that we can name out here, but the problem is the old folks got the money and the resources tied up, and can we just keep this 100 on the bricks? They are not investing in these young dudes. They're not investing in these young fellas and saying, hey, this guy right here is making a name for himself. He's representing well. The investment ain't going there. These fellas got to get it out the mud on their own. And that's the problem. I didn't say that the minister has not been a good spokesperson or continue to be. What I'm saying is that even in the NFL, you get more coaches, more offensive coordinators, backup quarterbacks. You don't just put it all on one person, and you look to the next generation and you groom and raise as many of them as you can. That's how you become impervious. Too many targets to take, too many qualified, articulate, capable spokespeople and operatives. You can't take them down. The reason why taking us is so damn easy is because one person wants to jump out front. They want to be seen. They want to be photographed. They want to be in the spotlight. They want to be famous. And they want to stay that way. They want to get in front of the camera, they want to be in the spotlight, and they want to stay there for the rest of their lives. Dr. John Henry Clark talked about that decades ago, and we got to call that for what it is. We are led by a bunch of hopelessly stuck in their ways old people. Folks, do you understand? Do you all understand that the world changed over the course of the last 5 years? Do you realize the radical social, political, geographic changes that happened in just the last 5 years? Now, let me back it up a little bit more. Do you all realize the radical changes that have happened in just the last 2 decades? We went from television, broadcast and cable television, being called the media and the communication apparatus of this country, and that was for the previous, 70 years? Television and radio ran the yard for the previous century. And in just 2 decades, the internet has replaced both of them. To the point that if you're a great person on terrestrial radio, you don't translate to the internet. There are different standards over here. What worked on terrestrial radio doesn't translate to the internet. The expectations are different. The audience is different. The environment is different. The internet is a place of the cutting edge. Television talks about what the internet talked about last week. The internet is the cutting edge, the bleeding edge. And you can't treat it the way you do everything else. Otherwise, you're behind. Do you all understand that? If you're getting relationship advice from somebody talking about their relationship 10 years ago, do you realize how far out of the loop that person is? Most people's relationships and marriages today happen online. If you don't know how to use Instagram or Facebook, you ain't meeting nobody new. That's not what people are not looking down at the bar in the nightclub anymore. That's not what they're doing. So if you're coming to us with your old ideas, folks, y'all don't even use telephone books anymore. I grew up and the telephone book ruled everything. Folks don't even use them anymore. If you're a person from the telephone book era, do you realize how far out of touch you are with the world today? Telling a bunch of millennials that they need to learn how to let their fingers do the walking. For those of you too young, that was the old slogan for the Yellow Pages. The phone book, they had commercials and their slogan was let your fingers do the walking. Folks, it's been so long that I got to explain this to the young folk. They don't even get that joke. The young people under the age of 30, they don't even get that joke. Those of you in your 40s and older, moving towards half a century old, you get it. Your kids don't. You thought you were being funny. The kids are like, what the hell, cornballs? Fingers do the walk. Fingers walk. You want me to walk on my fingers? Don't you mean walk on your hands? And what I'm saying is that the problem, and it happens to everyone, including me, the problem with getting old is that the world changes. And you might not be as far behind as some other people your age. But by definition, a person in their 70s is in no way prepared to have the perspective of somebody in their 20s. And yet you're going to be speaking for them in a world you don't even understand. The billion-dollar fortunes of today are built on your cell phone. We can't even say on the computer anymore. The Tesla Corporation, that was built for your phone. It was built to buy cars on your phone and to control the car with your phone. Yo, grandmama can't work this? Hell, most of your parents can't. The reason that young people love Tesla is because it's integrated with their phone. They can understand that. They can wrap their heads around it. Their car is now an extension of their phone. Your parents don't get that. A bunch of y'all, your parents are buying brand new cars looking for the damn CD player. Just that simple. How many of y'all got parents buying brand new cars and still listening to over-the-air broadcast radio on the broadcast radio stations? Come on now, have you tried to talk to your parents about their favorite website? Okay, they're not prepared to lead us into the future. The future is here, and they're telling you what old people always say. Why do you need that? Why do you need a phone to unlock your car? Why don't you just use the key the way we always did? You know what the number one stolen car in America is today? A Kia. If you own a Kia that is older than 5 or 7 years old, it's the number one stolen car because, yeah, they're still using keys that late. To the point they got a class action lawsuit against them now. Your parents and grandparents are looking at you talking about why do you need your phone to unlock the car? They think that is a complication. They see that as an inconvenience. They think you're the one with the problem. Do you understand that? Your parents think you're the one who's silly. They can understand using the cell phone to talk on, but why do you need to use your cell phone to unlock your car? Why would you even want that? Do you understand that? Why would you even want that? That's complicating it. Why do you need to do that? But that's what happens when you get old. You're used to doing it the way you are, and then you stay doing it because that is what is most efficient for you, or that is what is most emotionally or mentally convenient for you. Once you get comfortable, you just want to settle into your position and take your attention in other directions. The problem is, as we get older, our attention actually narrows down. We don't go off and learn more and more things unless you're a rare person. As people get older, they investigate fewer and fewer things. Hand me down my walking cane. You're on the cutting edge of nothing. That's when your kids and your grandkids pass you by. And in black society, that's what we got. We have young people who make trends all over the place, but the society and the politics are lorded over by the Methuselah generation. And they've gotten older and more stuck in their ways. They sat there, and I was there when Joe Biden did both them crime bills in 84 and 94, and the old niggas today done gave him a pass. They've just excused that wholesale. You know why? Because them niggas are so old, they're not in danger of going to jail no more. They don't even have friends who can get away. They can't run away from the crime. They don't even have anybody who can be the getaway driver. That's how old they are now. Their joints ain't working right. Their eyesight can't really focus on the road like they need to. He can't even get away drive like he needs to. Like, I ain't trying to get in no trouble. Hand me my pension. That's what it is. So the old folk are always going to tell us, keep things the way they are. Stay where you're at. Biden ain't so bad. Oh, well, we've always had illegals. Okay, I want y'all to understand we're going to have hell out these old folks about the illegals. I want y'all to understand that. You're not going to get any help from the old niggas about that. Do you all understand? You aren't going to get any help or any sympathy about the illegal aliens from the old niggas. Do you understand that? They don't give a damn. You're the one in the job market being displaced. You're the one trying to look for an overpriced ass house today being displaced. The old niggas, all they care about is there's somebody there to serve them their damn cornbread and rice on the damn Tom Joyner cruise.
And deal with it, nigga.
That's all they care about, is there's somebody there to serve them. They don't care what country they came in from, and they don't care if you, their children or grandchildren, are left ass out. They've been telling you for decades, I got mine, you need to take care of getting yours. While some jackasses were telling me 2 decades ago about looking out for them. Now that they got your ass in the sling, now you want to say, that's right, Jason, we need to watch out for these old niggas. What about you 15 years ago when I was saying it? Wasn't you saying respect the elders? Well, you know what I mean, my grandmama, all right. It's the rest of y'all grandmamas who messed up. My grandmama, all right. My grandmama need to run things, but the rest of y'all grandmamas need to go sit down. Every city in America that starts making a whole bunch of money, it is young people who power it. Take a look at Miami. Miami is the poppin' place to be today, not because of the Golden Girls, but because of all the youthful energy that is gravitating to Miami. Atlanta is the poppin' place it is today because back in the 90s, a bunch of adolescents and teenagers said, damn New York, we gonna make new ground somewhere else. And they came to Atlanta. And money and progress and prosperity follow youthful energy. And I have always appealed to that and fed into that and nurtured that. But not these old niggas. They don't do that. All they want to, let me tell y'all, a bunch of them are looking forward to being in a nursing home somewhere. They just want to know there's going to be somebody there to change their depends. They don't care what it does to you. Now, you can live in denial of that if you want to, but just take a look outside your door. Take a look at your housing prices. Take a look at your car prices. Take a look at your job prospects. There's reality for you. The old folk ain't doing a damn thing to defend you. You go walk around with them. They don't give a damn about that. As long as there's somebody there to answer the customer service phone call when they call up, they don't give a damn what you missing. In the chat room, you said they stuck in church every Sunday. You know what? That makes a very good observation. The one place that young people aren't. Yeah, I said it. Did you all notice that every time you take a look at where the young folk are, okay, the old folk are there in droves, and that's where we're having trouble out of. The political rallies, there the old folks are. The young people protest. The old folk go to political rallies. They go for a politician. The young folk hit the streets whenever something goes wrong. The old folk don't show up except on election day. And then when they vote for the most stupid, banal, basic-ass garbage. They got Medicare, they got Medicaid, and they ready to fight to the damn hill. I need more Medicaid, more Medicare. Got niggas in they damn 70s trying to figure out if he can get a new Viagra prescription. Damn! The stiffest thing on him is the crease in his pants. And he's sitting up here trying to figure out how to get Medicare and Medicaid to pay for some Cialis. I'm like,
nigga, please.
Y'all know him? You see him all the damn time. You go to damn me, Six Flags or MGM Universal or Disney World, it's a bunch of old folks sitting on the damn rides along with their kids. And I don't mean with their grandkids. You got a bunch of old folk walking around that damn place. I'm like, the sign very clearly says, hey, elderly, medications, no, not you. Not you. What are you doing? They hopping their old asses on there. I know some of y'all have seen the little old ladies going in there with their oxygen tanks. I'm like, there's an explosion hazard. Do we need their money that bad? And you think they're worried or concerned about you? You think they're worried or concerned about you? Hell no! No! These folks are trying to figure out, can we, they all know all the damn free stuff. It ain't the young people trying to get the free stuff, the Meals on Wheels, and can I get some free catfish and cornbread from James Clyburn? Ain't no, the young folks are saying, get his old ass out of here. The old folks are showing up talking about free catfish. Ain't no young people. Can y'all imagine? Have you all ever seen a flyer for college kids for any sort of event offering free catfish? Now, free liquor, free candy, free pizza, not no damn free catfish. The old niggas, I'm like, the damn medical van shows up with the ramp on it to let them down in their wheelchair. All right, got one off. Let's bring it back up. All right, get up on here. Here they all come rolling off. They all come filing out of the damn medical van like the aliens from Battle Los Angeles coming off the ship. You think we're going to get help from them? Folks, it's not done for no damn reason. When Roland Martin show up somewhere, the nigga bring a plate. He knows how to talk to his generation. Do you understand that? Roland knows how to talk to his generation. That's the point I'm trying to make. They are all stuck in circa 1978 to 1989, still talking about Reaganomics, giving Bill Clinton a pass. Still talking about Nixon, giving Barack Obama, still talking about George H.W. Bush and George W. Bush and giving Barack Obama a pass for every damn thing. Everything that we talking about, folks, it's not they're just ignoring, they're giving it a pass. Yeah, we saw that, oh well. And that's who controls the politics over here today. And that's why they're scared of the new black media, because we're saying, yeah, we ain't listening to none of them. None of them. And, oh yes, I'm going to say this before I get back to the phone lines. That's rather diabolical, don't you think? Roland Martin and Lamont Hill, none of them have a problem with somebody sitting up here giving out abortions, aborting the young kids. They ain't got no problem with that. None. Isn't that interesting? They don't have a problem aborting anybody. That's how much regard and concern they have for the young. The same folks sitting up here with their geriatric politics, and they have no problem aborting the young generation. Let me get caller from area code 516. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, brother Jason, it's Adam calling from Queens, New York.
Adam from Queens, what's on your mind?
So, I remember a while ago, our brother Umar Johnson went on the Roland Martin show, and that's what really put me in perspective, how he tried to sabotage that dude. Now, I don't know what everybody's opinions on him are, but mine was, at the time, he was trying to build his school for us and by us. I don't know if everybody's familiar with it, but he had that going on at the time. And then when he brought him on the show, he was trying to dig at his credentials and his lineage to Frederick Douglass. So if anybody's on the fence about Roland Martin, you still watching that clown, you should go watch that interview and see what he's really about.
I mean, brother, it won't register to them. Just understand that it won't register to them, because Roland's audience is not our audience. Roland's audience is not Umar Johnson's audience. That's the thing I want y'all to understand. That's the point I'm trying to make. The folk that you're talking to about that, they already know it. And the folks who don't, well, that's because that's Roland's audience. So him sitting up there talking stupid doesn't register to them. They just sit there and bob their heads to it. I also want y'all to understand something else. Folk like Roland, we already know his background. So, of course, the illegals are, his kinsmen. We get that. But do y'all really realize how many of these old niggas, I'm going here with I'm going to upset a lot of damn people tonight. Folks, I'm going to upset a lot of folks here tonight. I'm going to, but I got to tell the truth. Thank you very much for giving this call tonight, brother. I got to tell the truth. I'm going to upset some people. So be it. A lot of you old cats were in the military. Damn. All right, let me go ahead and piss off a bunch of folks here real quick. Bunch of these old cats in the military, that Roland Martin audience, can we just keep it a buck? These niggas done got old. They sitting up here, they ain't really got nothing else they can do to hang on to. Don't y'all know they don't give a damn. Throw the gates open. Let as many Mexicans, South American, and any other chicks out here needing a sponsor come across that border as they can. They don't give a damn. They be sitting at the VA hospital trying to spit at anything named Lopez. Hey, baby, you got your green card? Oh, where you from? Oh, you from the Philippines? Yeah, I was stationed over there in the South Pacific. Yeah. Sure was. Got my passport right here. Yeah, I said it. Y'all got to understand, a bunch of these old fellas out here and whatnot, what Roland says resonates. They like, oh, that's good. Let me get some illegal alien sex, and if things go south, an abortion. I mean, I got my VA benefits to pay for anything anyway. But come on now, my military men. Hey, my fellas in the military, if I'm lying about the dudes you served with, if I'm lying on the fellas that you served with, if that's they get down, then you can call me up and call me out on that and say, Jason, that's not the way military men work, Jason. You lying on them. They don't operate that way. Come on now, every damn time you turn around, they want to sit up here and regale you about the bases they served on in Germany and Okinawa and the Middle East. The missions they've been into in South America and Africa. Knowing that the majority of the civilian population has never been to all those places like that, and so these guys have been desensitized. So far as they're concerned, oh, well, I went over to their country last time. This time they coming over here. Oh, well, makes it convenient for me. Come on now. To my military fellas, you know I'm telling the truth. You know I am. Y'all know I'm just keeping it a buck on you. You know them fellas. Many of y'all who served in the military, you know that your old uncle, he was serving back in Nam. You know that nigga would sell your ass out for a Mai Tai and a 25-year-old. You know you'd be dead and gone. He's sitting up here trying to regale you about all the stuff he did over there in Vietnam and Laos and Grenada and Gulf War I. You know full well he would, without thinking. Yeah, and the only thing they talk about is when you talk about overseas with them, the only damn thing they want to talk about is the sex they was getting over there. That's all. This nigga head looked like a coconut with gray hair on it, and all he's talking about is the sex they were getting. Now they're back over here. And yeah, I'm going to say it, in many of their damn cases, they can't really perform with a female. They just want some female company so they can look like they might be able. And telling the kids, damn you. My folks in the military, you know I'm telling the damn truth. If I'm going to get hated on for that, so be it. I'm not going to sit up here and lie. Those of you who serve, anybody who's been on a Navy vessel knows he can't trust the niggas on there. Any of y'all who served on a Navy vessel, a battleship, God forbid an aircraft carrier, You know them fellas on there ain't money motivated. They panties motivated. Any place they drop down in. And you trying to sit up here and appeal to their moral conscience about an illegal alien? He just wants to know where the hell she from and what size does she wear. Is it someplace he's been before that he's familiar with? You ain't gonna make no headway over here. He's getting his damn VA benefits. He don't give a damn what happens. Throw the gates open so long as he got something that only has one STD he can lay up with, he's cool. Y'all serve with these fellas. The Army bases in America are not an accurate indicator or an accurate illustration of what the situation is. To all of y'all who served in the Gulf, y'all know it goes diggy down. Y'all know that. My Gulf War I and especially my Gulf War II veterans, man, y'all know it ain't nothing but a whorehouse over there. Y'all know that? Oh, I got to give them the work. We talk about the military wives, and don't get me wrong, they are all the way out of line. But about the military husbands, the men and the unmarried men in the military, man, y'all know that overseas on the Army bases, it ain't nothing but a hoe house. I dare anybody to tell me I'm lying about that. These Army bases anywhere outside the continental U.S., the contiguous 48 states, it ain't nothing but a whorehouse in them Army bases, especially when they got weekend leave. Whenever they got leave from the base, it goes down. And you trying to scare them about some Chinese illegal aliens? You trying to scare them about some South American whores piling up in New York? Yeah, over there in Korea, we can go down the damn list. Come on now. So I'm supposed to sit up here and lie because I might offend somebody? This is how you end up with Roland Martin sitting up here running the damn yard and misleading folk all over the damn place. This is how you end up with the old black media trying to resurrect itself all the damn time. Because we tell the folks here, don't tell the damn truth. Don't say what's really going on. I'm going to tell it like it is because I want the young cats and everybody else to know, by the way, I know what time it is. I know what's going on. I see what's happening. I know who's supporting y'all. I know why you doing it. And if nobody's going to call it out, I am. You're under a misnomer if you think that they were in the military and their principle is about defending America's borders. They are disillusioned, disenchanted, and just like the old folks who didn't serve in the military trying to get their Medicare and Medicaid, and the ones who did serve in the military got their VA benefits, and most of them are not giving a damn about the rest of you, especially the young folk. And I'm not saying everybody who's in the military, but for those of you in the military, you know as a group, you know those of you who are concerned, you know you the damn minority. Those of you who are concerned, you know that you are the minority. You do not speak for the majority of the armed services. Let's just keep it a buck on this. You talking about black first, you're talking about a code of conduct. You know full damn well if you served in the military, that ain't nothing. You the odd man out. When you talk like that, you're the odd man out. You can't even talk to them about things like this. If he becomes anything more than a staff sergeant, he gone. Hell, your staff sergeants, if they make it that far, he gone. The buck privates, the privates first class, the corporals, they talk about being black. If he becomes a sergeant or sergeant first class, that's your ass. He gone. He don't want to hear about no black nothing. He doesn't want to hear about no black nothing. You sitting up here talking about Biden and disenfranchisement and black hate crime bill and comparing us to everybody else, man. He don't want to hear that. Y'all know I'm telling the truth about it. If I upset you, then so bad. Too bad. If the truth is upsetting you, too bad. Roland Martin's audience is composed of them kind of individuals, old, elderly, drawing some sort of government pension and whatnot, brainwashed to hell, unconcerned about the next generation. The young folk ain't listening to them over there. They're listening to us over here. But between them aborting as many of the kids as they can, locking up as many of the young folk as they can, and screwing up their brains as much as they can, that's what they've been living for. And that's why the last 10 years have been a frightening horror movie for them. Because they're seeing a bunch of young folk rising up and not looking for convention, not listening to the old folks. But if you want to know what stalled us, we got a bunch of old folks out here. And old people are set in their ways. They want to get comfortable. And there's a place for that. There's a place for that. There is. But not when it comes to keeping up with our politics. We have eternal ideals, but the old folks have fallen out of touch with the strategy. Caller America code 804, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Cassie from Virginia.
Right.
I'm sorry, I have laryngitis.
That's all right, Cassie. I've been talking about old folks tonight. What's on your mind?
Well, I am older. That's no lie. Excuse me. But I disagree with you on a couple of things.
Of course.
Oh, no. Listen, but it's not really disagreeing with you. That's by design. Because I'm not that old person you're talking about. That's not me.
I know, baby.
But it's not by design. It's by design. They keep those old people there for a reason. That's by design. Because I know. That's by design. They're using those, just like they use those bootlicks and everything, they're using our older generation to block the young. That's by design. Okay, and one other thing. Now, you said that the people are very smart. Yeah, but that don't make you always right. One thing you got to know, they have brainwashed, what, 1 or 2 generations of our people. They are shocked at what's going on now because of the simple fact that they thought that they were going to brainwash a couple of more generations. They were unprepared for what has happened. And you can tell because they keep doing the same play with the bootlicks. They keep on recycling them because they're stuck. I've been around long enough. They're stuck. They don't know which way to go because they're not pulling in. See, they need to pull in the young people and people like you, Jason. But they can't. So, like I said, you might be smart, but you ain't always right. And they don't know what the heck to do right now. And I'm so glad because I've been fighting my own individual battles with white supremacy all my life. And you're right about those old people because I got in an argument with an 80-something-year-old guy. And I'm going to tell you, Jason, I'm not a violent person, but I came 2 steps and slapped him upside the head.
Damn!
You just can't. You can't talk to him. He lived his whole life chasing panties in the service. If you didn't pinpoint that, I don't know. If you didn't do that accurate,
Sister Cassie, I got to ask you, baby, how old are you?
65.
Oh, and he upset you so bad you was about to go upside his head with your cane?
I don't have a cane.
Oh, he's in trouble then. She was about to run him over with the hover round.
I don't have a hover either. Don't do that to me. Please don't do that.
Well, baby, look, you about to.
Please don't do that.
Either that, you had a pair of brass knuckles. You said you was about to give him the work.
He just made me mad because it comes a time, Jason, in your life. I don't care how old you are. It comes a time in your life that you got to face the truth. I don't care how old you are. And, like you said, got 3 or 4 or 5 different ailments. Don't care about nothing but Medicaid, Medicare. It's just pathetic. I've always loved change. I've always fought white supremacy wherever it was. And I mean, I've been in some battles. And guess what? I won them. And you know why I won them? Because I had the facts and I was right. And I stood on that. And that's what y'all got to do. You got to stand on it. You can't back off when everything, because they pile everything on top of you. You just get the strength to push it off.
Well, Miss Cassie, if you wind up having to throw them things on him, if you wind up having to do that, let me know. I got your bail money for you.
But like I said, it just make me mad that by design these people are in the slot. They're just blocking y'all. That's all they're doing. That's why they got Clyburn with his old fish frying self. I never go into none of that crap. I stopped voting years ago because they won't voting for nothing. I tried to tell some people that. Some listened, some did not.
Well, like I say, the older they get, the more comfortable they get in that regard, and that's what we're watching out for. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight, baby.
Auntie, chill.
Yeah, man. What she say? I'm ready to catch a fair one. She said, I'm 65, he 87, but he can get it. She said, look here, she said, wait a minute, let me pull on up my compression socks. Let me pull up my compression socks and get my elbow brace. I'm about to get this nigga what he came for. Yes, sir. She said, let me go ahead and put my isotoners on. I'm about to get this nigga. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me take my arthritis pill right quick here. Give me a drink of this Sweet Lucy. Let me take a little drink of this Sweet Lucy right quick. All right, I'm ready to go now. Where that nigga went? I ain't mad at her. If she get caught up in the bind, she gotta catch a fair one. Holler at me, baby. Holler at me. We got your bail money sitting right here. I got you. I don't give a damn what CNN say. I don't give a damn what memes they make on Twitter. I'm belling her out. Call America 872. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Chris from the Chairman Fred, Hampton City, Chicago. How you doing, Jason?
Chris from Chicago. What's on your mind?
Hey, so yeah, hopefully my questions are appropriate for this program tonight. So I don't know if you remember. I think I called maybe I was like 3 months ago or something. I think I didn't phrase the question correct. So yeah, I was just saying I had some. I'm not a Hebrew Israelite, but I had a friend that's a Hebrew Israelite. So I just want to know, is it possible, like what all can I tell or explain to my Israelite friends, or getting listeners to you in the new black media?
I mean, like I say, I mean, it's gonna be an uphill battle in some regards. If they're black first minded, then they're already about that. If they have something that matters to them more than that, if they want to quibble over semantics, like what we quote call ourselves, if they want to quibble over those things right there and make that a major sticking point, that's where our whole being needs to be focused on. Like I say, I mean, basically they got another agenda. So the real thing is what their agenda is. If they got the same one as us, it'll work. But in a lot of their cases, they got some separate agenda running, and they're very comfortable with it, and that's what matters the most to them. So, like I say, it's gonna be an uphill fight.
Oh, okay. I guess you already answered. I'm about to ask, like, can you kind of explain a little bit, like, what is the Israelites about? Because I mean, they don't really kind of. I don't really kind of understand the way they try to teach me, and basically.
I will say one thing. I want y'all to. I really need to cover this more in depth, because like I said, this is a little off what we're talking about tonight, but it's actually relevant in one way. There was a shooting situation down there in Florida, Polk County. Now, the old Sheriff Grady Judd. And he made a whole point here. He's always doing these press conferences and whatnot. And he was doing one in particular here, focusing on the sovereign citizens. There was a situation out of Charlotte. I want to say out of Charlotte, North Carolina. A bunch of U.S. Marshals got killed. And you got a bunch of folks now talking about black sovereign citizens. I want y'all to keep your eyes and your ears open on that. I now can count 3 news stories from the last couple of weeks, specifically targeting so-called the Hebrew Israelites, the Moors. Down there in Florida, Grady Judd made a big point to point out that this person calls himself a Moorish citizen. He made a big point. And he was not making any. Now he said that most of the time our encounters with him are non-violent, but he was making he made a big spotlight on Moorish, on being a Moor, and that Moorish society, and Moorish temple, and all that. He made a very, very big point about that, and we're gonna hear more. So I'm letting everybody know right now, you are on the radar. You're on the radar. They're naming them by name. And it's only going to be a matter of time. What they're really doing is they want to have enough violent incidents that they can tag everybody as terrorists. That's the issue that we're going to have there. That's the issue that we're going to have there. I'm warning everybody to keep an eye on that.
Okay. And this is probably my last, just quick question. And I think you said, like a few months ago, you was saying maybe the Bible was probably maybe like I don't know, maybe written by a female or whatever. You think a little, you explain on that a little bit. I think probably because you probably think it's like kind of emotional or something. Maybe. I'm just.
Okay, well, no, I mean, I'm just saying it's always been my personal opinion when you talk about, Mayat or anything else there. I think religion is something in particular that females gravitate to. It comforts them. So I think it's been, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, especially when it comes to, Mayat, for example, clearly, that's attributed to the female psyche. So I think there's a bit of a philosophy there that would be very comfortable to them in that regard. I think it is. But I mean, that's a bit of a different subject there, though. But thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. If I have a general purpose subject, maybe we can talk then. But definitely, I want y'all to be aware. Keep your eyes and your ears open on that. I've been tracking those things. I've been watching that. And they've been making a point of it to talk about sovereign citizens and specifically naming Moors, which means that they think they found something they can work there. And when they're starting to name you and whatnot, they're going to name you enough times. And then next thing you know, y'all are thinking a little bit too broad. Y'all are thinking too broad. In the chat room, Andre with Kenner, Louisiana, Polk County, Charlotte, y'all think a little bit too broad. Remember, we don't need the feds to do this one. You don't need the feds for this. California has gang injunctions. Remember? California has gang injunctions. Most of your states don't have that. California decided that the Bloods and the Crips and whatnot, that was such an issue that they were going to make a specific set of laws for their state to deal with this specific subset of offender. To the point now that you can find yourself in trouble just associating with gangs. You don't have to actually be guilty of anything else. Just you being an associate of one of the street gangs in California can get you in trouble. What makes you think that they can't do that in Florida? Yeah, we'll ignore the Proud Boys and the white supremacists. We ain't worried about them. And the white sovereign citizens. Well, we ain't worried about the white sovereign citizens. You black ones, though. So, okay. Okay. I'm trying to give you all a heads up so that you understand exactly what this is. Let me send a shout out here real quick to my man Wayhep. Thank you very much for contributing to tonight's program here. TBA, you own tonight. You're spot on regarding our black male veterans' quest for sex, specifically foreign. That is a basic prerequisite provided for them to keep them in line and distracted from the business of catering the hoes. They're distracted with the business of catering the hoes. Absolutely. I mean, that's placating them and whatnot. If it keeps them out of their hair for a little while longer, they'll go for it. Yeah, we'll take it. If it keeps them out of their hair long enough, keeps them distracted. And meanwhile, they come back brainwashed. Can we just call it like it is? A bunch of these fellas, when they go to South America, the Middle East, and especially Asia, I got to call it for what it is, especially Asia, they hop out the bed with them women confused. Confused as hell. When they dealing with the Asians and the Latinas, the white Latinas, they come out confused as hell. These fellas hop out the bed wanting to grab a samurai sword and wear a kimono. They come out talking about, they love black folks. They love it over here. Y'all saw the program I did earlier this year? The anime dudes trying to call up and defend. Y'all, when they do get a shot, when they finally do get a shot with Lucy Liu, man, when they hop out the bed, I'm talking about like a Bruce Lee movie, you know, where the lips aren't synced up right with the language. Like, wait a minute, this nigga talking to me, his lips are moving, his words are not in sync with his lips moving. What's going on? Hey, Benny, what happened to you there? The problem is, you do not understand. No, things have changed. Little grasshopper. Okay. Your lips kept moving, but I ain't hear nothing. You all right? You have been in America far too long. You need to expand your thoughts and horizons. I understand this after years of being around these people here. They love us. Here, but y'all, the original samurai. I'm sitting like, this nigga's crazy. Trust me, they hop out the bed confused. They hop out the bed completely confused. And then you come back trying to talk to him? Talking about some black first. This nigga walking around with a top knot. Telling you his name used to be Leroy Green. Now his name is Shang Tsung. Hey! Can't tell you nothing about black history. He can recite every manga and anime in existence. Oh, man. Caller America 225, you're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, Jason. This is James. I'm calling from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
All right, James from Baton Rouge. What's on your mind?
Okay. Well, first of all, I think your description. I'm a philosopher, by the way. I think your description of the generational selfishness is largely accurate. However, I think that you don't emphasize the fact that we're actually socialized to be generationally selfish. That is, to look out only for ourselves. But the second point that I want to make is that your position is actually equally generationally selfish. That your basic argument is that they didn't look out for me, and therefore I'm not going to look out for them. I'm going to look out for myself. That's the second position. The third position I'd like to advance is that you seem to take MAGA-type positions on issues. And so when you were sort of gloating about the success of your podcast or whatever, you put up your YouTube channel or whatever, compared to Lamont Hill. Oh, by the way, I'm 70, so let you know how I get down.
I'm sure you are.
Right. So sorry. So now your position, you have your position on abortion, your position on immigration, your position against Biden, your position pro-technology, your position of in the sense of might makes right. Those are essentially MAGA-like positions. And so I'm wondering, you say that you're a strategic thinker, and you say that you're advancing the black agenda, but your positions seem to be the very positions which guarantee that that black people are going to be defeated.
Okay, tell me how abortion helps black people.
Well, if you looked at abortion as simply abortion, then you might argue that, of course, abortion doesn't have black people.
We don't have to get into semantics. Second time, tell me how abortion helps. Tell me how abortion is a benefit to black people. Second try.
I'm going to speak directly to the issues that you're raising. So you're talking about abortion. The issue is not abortion. The issue is the ability of women to make decisions about their own lives.
How does aborting black children help black people? Third try.
Well, see, you want to twist the issue and force me to answer some narrow question, which you rigged. What I'm saying is that ultimately, I think abortion is a bad thing. But I think that women ought to have the ability to do bad.
I think that women should have the ability to do bad things. These old niggas.
Well, no. Excuse me, brother. That's simplistic.
I'm repeating his words. I'm repeating his words, but it's simplistic. Okay.
Brother, but this is called sophistic, what you're doing, but repeating my words. In other words, you're getting a letter of what I'm saying, but you're not getting the spirit of what I'm saying.
I repeated his words, but okay. The problem is me repeating his words. Sir, tell me the benefit that we receive. What is the benefit that we receive for supporting abortion, sir? What's the benefit we get as black people?
The benefit that we get as black people from supporting abortion is that to support abortion means that you're empowering women. If we're going to
empowering women to do what?
We have to empower women to make decisions as they see fit.
Now, notice he didn't say. Did you all notice he didn't say black women? Did you all notice this old bastard didn't say black women? He's just talking about women.
Oh, no, brother. Let me speak directly to that.
You already had your chance. You already did. You said women 3 times. You didn't say black women. You said women 3 times. This is one of them dudes who used to be on the campuses at Berkeley. He was chasing the white girls burning their bras, and he hasn't grown out of it since.
Brother. It turns out that if you really want to talk about women, the essence of women is black women. So if you want to talk about how to change the world, you can only change the world by empowering black women.
And how does aborting your children, how does aborting their child help black women?
Well, if you simply said, if that's all you're doing is aborting your children, then of course that doesn't help black people. I said to you, I'm not defending abortion. What I'm defending is the ability of women to make decisions.
No, make a decision about what, sir? Make a decision about what?
Right, and if one of the decisions is abortion, I'm defending that. But let me.
Thank you. Do you all see how duplicitous and lying ass these old niggas are? Do y'all see how deceitful that they are? They're lying to themselves.
These are complex issues that you're trying to make simple. That's what's going on.
Sir, it's a simple issue. Liars always claim that the truth is complicated. Liars and con men always claim that simple truths are complicated.
Brother, if you go in nature, you'll find that there are situations where mothers killed their own children.
Name two outside the human race. Name two.
Well, you can look at lions, elephants. In fact, there are any number of little orphan animals. And what they say is that the mother abandoned the orphan, that the mother perceived that.
Do you all see this? This old nigga thought he was going to play National Nigga Geographics on here and whatnot and claim that what you see on lions is the same as abortion.
If you just going for entertainment,
Sir, what you just described is not abortion. That's not that you can't conflate any form of language to make what you just called abortion. That's not abortion. In any way, shape, form, or fashion. This isn't even semantics. You're just making up science fiction now, and you're making an ass of yourself.
I'm using your words. You told me that what abortion is all about is killing black children. And so I'm speaking to what you said. I'm saying that in nature, you will find creatures who, even though their fundamental objective is to preserve life, there are circumstances in which they will kill their own children. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, sir, there are circumstances they'll kill their offspring. Are they doing it for the same reason as abortion, sir?
Well, see, whatever the reason, whatever you call the mechanism that they use, if at the end of the day, the child or the offspring is dying, we're really talking the same thing.
No, sir, because the fundamental difference here is what makes us different from lions and tigers and orangutans, sir? Or do you think there is no difference?
Well, actually, I think that the problem with human beings is that the difference that we make, this mental, intellectual difference, is really irrelevant.
So he just told us that there's the differences are. He didn't argue that there's no difference. Now he's saying, well, it doesn't matter what the difference is. Are you all going to let yourselves get led by this?
No. What I'm saying is, I'm saying that the Western culture has the tradition of establishing human beings as somehow or another distinct and superior to other animals.
So you're saying that we're. So you're saying that we're not.
I'm saying that we're inferior to other animals. And by the way, here's the absolute standard of proof.
Do you all do y'all understand something here? Bum nigga babble is not new. You've always had niggas who just babble their asses off, say the craziest stuff, and there'll be some dumb female somewhere who's like, ooh, he deep. And that's how they ended up with all these bastard kids in the 60s and 70s. A fella like this talking garbage, and if you sit there long enough, you're like, ooh, he sound deep. Deep dumb.
Well, brother, I would say this to you. If it's new, it's not true. And if it's true, it's not new. Anything I'm going to tell you is going to have the property that it lasts forever.
Sir, what you're saying is illogical, irrational, and factually false. So it doesn't matter what you say from here on in. There's no truth to it. It's illogical. It's irrational. I already proved it. You just argued against yourself. You argued that you don't approve of abortion except when you do. Oh, wait a minute. It isn't killing the kid, but it is killing the kid. Oh, well, we can have that. We don't have that. Now he's telling us that human beings are lower than the beasts of the field. This is the kind of clown you gotta be to support this stuff.
Well, brother, see you wrestling with me, brother. Because I'm trying to discuss this with you, whereas you're just trying to get licks in.
Sir, I'm not getting a lick on nothing. I'm repeating your words. Do you realize how silly you sound? Adults are not supposed to indulge in silliness.
You're entertaining.
Sir, adults, especially grown men, you're not supposed to entertain silly, stupid thoughts. That's a sign of childishness and immaturity.
So,
a
brother,
grown
what
man
did
is
I-
supposed to
what did I
perpetuate
say
or promote
that
silly
was
thoughts.
silly and stupid?
This dumbass just sat up here and said that
what
we're
did I say
inferior to the beasts of the field. When you've never seen a beast of the field who created a civilization. A civilization by definition, be quiet.
brother,
You're going to be quiet now.
brother.
I let you talk all this time to spew your irrational garbage. You will now be quiet. You asked a question. It's time for some folks to have some sensibility and sanity in the room because you've been insane enough for all of us. What nobody told this septuagenarian jackass on my phone is that the beasts of the field are not constructive. The beasts of the field are limited. This is not a matter of opinion. There are actually very concrete genetic physical reasons for that. But here's another issue. We as human beings have something that we can subscribe called principles. We can subscribe meaning to things. There is a reason why we eat off of plates and off of tables and not at your house eating off the floor, which is what you're accustomed to. Human beings can subscribe meaning to things. You can talk to a dog or anything else and you might be able to get them to say some words, but what you'll never be able to get them to do is subscribe meaning and value to it. There's a reason why we can have a monetary system of money. We can subscribe meaning to things. We don't have offspring. We have children, except at your house where you just have litters of dogs. We don't sit up here and have a mate. We have a wife or a significant other, and they have meaning beyond that. There's a reason why we treat them differently. We have something called legacy. As human beings, we think about our existence, which is what we call sentience or self-awareness. Animals don't have self-awareness. They have survival instinct. Human beings can contemplate our place in the universe, which is why we are the only creature who is capable of contemplating the universe itself. Animals cannot do this. Not they won't, not they don't. They can't do this. Animals don't think about anything. You will be quiet or you will be silenced. Animals do not contemplate anything beyond themselves.
Gotten several licks in.
Okay, what he's going to do now is be quiet. Old niggas sitting up here thinking they're going to filibuster with their garbage. This is not your church up there where they handing out free donuts every Sunday. You're not going to sit up here and talk your ass off. Somebody sensible is speaking here. I'm debunking your garbage and you will not interrupt. But for those of you who ever fell for some old ass senior citizen spewing they nonsense what he's talking about, just remember, if you got an auntie with 4 or 5 bastard kids, this is probably the kind of feckless, useless nigga that she was listening to, saying that kind of garbage. Human beings are higher than the beasts of the field. And that's not a religious concept. That is a biological and social reality. Anybody who has actually studied biology understands that there's actually differences in the brain makeup of human beings versus everybody else. We are not like them. We're not like your dog. I don't care how much you like the dog. We ain't like him. We're not like your parrot. Any more than an automobile is like a horse. We are different. Fundamentally, intrinsically, down to the DNA, we are different. They ain't like us. And take a look at some old bastard who wants to convince you that we're backwards, we're like them, so that he can rationalize all this backward garbage he's been doing. Human beings can subscribe meaning and values. Animals cannot. They can subscribe utility. For those of you who want to say if there was an animal who made a tool, they can subscribe utility. They can't subscribe value. Animals don't have legacy. They don't think about what's going to happen to the next generation. Animals do not look at their offspring and say, this is a miniature reproduction of me. Animals don't do that. Animals don't think about their family name. There is no name. Animals do not think about the next generation. They have a biological urge to procreate, but they cannot tell you what the reason or the value is. That is a fundamental difference. No, you can't even hide behind that there are some animals who mourn the loss of others. That is not what we do. That is not the same as us. We recognize them as living organisms. We are humane to them. We are not to be brutal to them. We're not to relish in their suffering. No. But for somebody to sit up here and say a completely false thing that we're like them or that we're lower than them, you all never saw a single animal that you had endeavor to make the world better for people. Human beings spend gross amounts of time, sometimes excessive amounts of time, trying to figure out how to make the world better for animals. But they don't sit around trying to figure out how to make the world better for us. In most cases, if an animal gets a hold of us, he's going to kill you or harm you. You're just food. And I just want you all to understand, a fellow who thinks this lowly of a black fetus, a black baby, he thinks this lowly of black babies, you can imagine how lowly he thinks of the rest of black society, period. Y'all got to understand, a bunch of these old folks think that because they live so damn long that them aging makes them better and smarter than the rest of us. I want you to understand, in his mind, the fact that he's lived long enough to spew this garbage all this damn time, he thinks that's a plus, that's an accolade. He needs to get a trophy. Who cares if everything he's saying is false ass garbage? Who cares about that? He's like the dope fiends babbling, except he hadn't took a hit of nothing. And there's a bunch of old women out there who fell for this garbage and had a bunch of kids. And he's sitting up here telling you, by the way, he agrees with a woman's choice. A choice to do what? To abort the children. Y'all notice that kind of garbage, that kind of deceitful talk he's using? But their choice to kill black babies? You see how a lot of these old fellas become white supremacists? They start relativizing our babies. Black babies are priceless. Black babies are priceless. Animals do many things. You know what animals never do? They never put their offspring up for adoption. You can't bring your baby lion to another pride of lions and then they gonna raise your baby. They're not gonna do that. They'll kill your baby. You can't bring your baby to them and everything's okay. You bring your baby to them, it's on site. We gonna kill the cub and you if we can get a hold of you. On site. We're not like that. We've never been like that. What he said is factually inaccurate and false because he's so determined to defend the Democrats that he's just going to make up his own alternative lie of biology. Never mind the fact that I just debunked it. Never mind that. Now, fella, where are you originally from? Because you're not from Louisiana. Where are you originally from? Where from up north did you come from? Up north or out west? Where did you come from?
Brother, can I speak now?
Yeah, well, you're going to speak one thing. Where did you originally come from? Because you're not from Louisiana. Where are you originally from? Turn off your phone, you jack. Turn off your speakers, you dumbass.
I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
There you go. Yeah, he's not one of us. And where are your people from originally? Where'd your people originally come from?
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
No. I'm talking about your great-great-grandparents. Where did they immigrate in from?
I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Third time, where did your great-great-grandparents immigrate in from? Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that. That's what I thought. Yeah, you want to talk about folks who want to infiltrate and mislead people and propagandize? Yeah, now he's still on the phone, y'all. He heard me the first 3 times. By the way, yeah, that's what I thought you were. That's what I thought. That's the reason why we have to draw a very stark line. Y'all got to understand, these vipers and these snakes, they work 24/7. And their goal is to hope that they meet somebody who can't answer these questions just so they can sow seeds of doubt and hopefully mislead 2 or 3 people. But by the way, yeah, that's what I thought. First of all, from the very first time he's on the phone, nigga, you ain't from Louisiana. Not talking like this, you're not. You don't even have one of our accents. And I was born and raised in Shreveport. And I'm like, yeah, I don't talk like a typical Southerner would. But by the way, a lot of folks in Shreveport talk like me. You don't even talk like a Louisianian. You don't even talk like us. Now, I wonder how somebody from Wisconsin ended up in southern Louisiana. I'm wondering. Now, he either came with the military or his family is the reason he's here. I wonder which one it is. Which one is it? You came in the military or your family's the reason you're here? Wake up, dumb Donald. How did you end up in Louisiana?
Well, brother, you just have to ask the question.
Yeah, I've asked the question several times, numbnuts. How did you end up in Louisiana?
Can I speak?
Yes. How did you end up in Louisiana last time?
Well, first of all, you had made a statement earlier that one of the distinctions between elderly people and the young people.
Okay, we're not going to play this game at all. You were asked a question. How did you end up in Louisiana?
That's what you were doing.
That's the only thing I'm asking you. You're not here to give a lecture. How did you get to Louisiana?
Why I took the position I took.
How did you get in Louisiana?
In other words, you immediately launched into your disagreement before you even found out.
How did you end up in Louisiana? How'd you get here?
Well, I married a woman from Baton Rouge, and I found out when I came down here that people in Louisiana love being down here, and so she maneuvered to get me down here.
And where is your wife from? Is she white? Now, he heard me the first time, sir. So is she white? Y'all know this. Every time I ask these questions, he gets stumped. Cat got his tongue. Hey, fella, is she
from
white?
Here in Baton Rouge. They're from St. Francisville.
I didn't ask where she's from, sir. He heard me the first time I said it.
No, she's black.
I don't believe that.
Brother, I'm a revolutionary. I don't know what you're talking about.
There's no such animal as an ass-kissing revolutionary. Okay, I'm going to let this jackass go here because you're not going to sit here on my phone and lie and make up things as you go along. I had them dead to rights when I said, by the way, you're not from Louisiana and your people are not foundational either. No. No. Ain't nobody moving from Wisconsin to come to southern Louisiana. No, you're not. No, you're not. He's trying to figure out a lie to make up or whatever. It's like, damn, didn't know you're going to catch it dead to rights. Didn't know you were going to ask those questions. Now, I want you to did you all recognize the contempt and disdain that he had for black babies here? A man's not supposed to do that. Certainly not from Louisiana. He's sitting up here talking about political parties. So just understand these Democrat shills and these Democrat operatives, they're concerned about a political party. Of course, I would expect Joe Biden to say, damn black babies. I expect Joe Biden to say that. We sitting up here right now. Just notice what he's talking about there. So he's like, yes, for illegal aliens, and no to black babies. You see, this is the reason why them old folks can sit there. They just believe anything each other says. The benefit of being younger is that we question everybody. No, we don't respect nobody. Respect is not given. Respect is earned. Paperwork check, nigga. Did he say nigga? I sure did.
And deal with it, nigga.
It's a new day. Ain't nobody getting a free pass. Paperwork check, nigga. No, you don't sound right. Where you from? Where your folks from? No, you don't get to just walk the yard and get to talk all greasy. Paperwork check, nigga. Where you from? Where your people from? Where's that accent you talking about from? No, I ain't believing that. Where your folks from? Show it. Who the hell is you? You don't talk like us. You ain't acting like us. Paperwork check, nigga. Paperwork check. Oh, hell no. His paperwork all kinds of dirty. This nigga, we can't trace the background and then where the hell he come? I'm from Milwaukee. You mean Sheriff David Clark territory? What? Oh, y'all, so you mean to tell me he came down from Sheriff David Clark territory? I'm from Milwaukee. Oh, you mean the land of David Clark? You mean there? No, nigga, now I got to check the paperwork. I got to check that. Who you from? Where you from? Who you came with? Who vouching for you? What code of conduct you pulling? Where your people from? Wisconsin. Where's your great-great-granddaddy from? I'm from Wisconsin. I said your great-great-granddaddy. Where he from? Why does that matter? Okay. Okay. Call Miracle 206. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, good evening. This is Agnes calling from Seattle, Washington.
Agnes from Seattle. What's on your mind?
Hi. Excellent podcast. You broke it all the way down, and you even broke it off in that so-and-so's behind. This is why we can't trust these old niggas. Listen, when I hear any Democratic shill, especially the black ones, promote anti-black family, they are immediately crossed off my list. How can you, who calls yourself or identifies with black people, promote an agenda to ethnically cleanse us? How can you sit up there and justify aborting your legacy and your future?
Because he doesn't have one. Now, there's the killing part about it. You heard him talking. Does that sound like a nigga with any sort of legacy?
Hell no, because he's not of the soil. Even I know black folk in Louisiana talk a certain way, act a certain way. And then he's going to say he's from Milwaukee? Well, if he knew any damn thing about our culture, he would know the black folks up in Milwaukee came from Louisiana and Arkansas and Mississippi. And I think I heard a little bit of an accent from somebody who came from the Horn of Africa. And the only reason why he's down Louisiana way is because he was up underneath some WS, some Becky, or some Carolyn. Yeah, he's on that Carolyn Bryant tip. And anyway, I just can't stand to hear these males. They're not men because they don't have any testosterone. And just because you have a penis between your legs, that doesn't make you a man, okay? And he had the nerve to justify aborting black babies with some crap. Man, Jason, I'm glad you just did away with him because he was an abortion. Anyway, B1, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Like I say, I mean, this is important. Okay, I hit, she dropped off the line there, so I think 909, I think I hit the button on you there. Give us a call back. Let me get caller from area code 404. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Laverne from Atlanta.
All right, Laverne from Atlanta, what's on your mind?
I'm calling about this dead gentleman that was on the phone. He's confused, and he's part of the problem with people that are older, and which I am older. I'm not too far from his age, but I do listen to the younger people. I'm all for it. I will be on my couch for 2024. Nobody is eligible, in my opinion, that deserve my vote. So I won't be voting. And as far as the illegals, what he was talking about, the illegal people, they are so rude. I had a incident with one the other day when I was at the grocery store, and he was really like, I thought the guy was deaf. He was all in my space. So I go like, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. He turned and walked away. So he walks away, and he was with this white lady, and they were in the back of the store. So I walked to the back of the store, and I heard him talking to this lady English. He was speaking in English. So I go, oh, so you do speak English. He says to me, why do you bother me? I said, why the hell do you bother me? You are rude, and you're in my country. You need to go home. You need to go back to your own country. So I don't know why that man that was on the phone so on the side of the people that are against us, and he's against us as well.
Well, that's because identity is the issue here. That guy doesn't identify as black first. He identifies as Democrat first, whatever part of the Caribbean or Africa they're from first, Midwestern first. He called up specifically to make the point. Yeah, I'm not black first. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if I'm human first. And by the way, doesn't that sound familiar, Roland Martin? Well, first of all, I'm a Christian. I'm a man. Sound familiar? I'll let you have the last word.
And he may be one of those guys that was a military whore. He, talking about the babies and black women getting rid of babies and stuff. So who knows how many babies he had somebody to get rid of for him. And I'll land my plane there, and I appreciate you taking my call, and have a good night.
Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Like I say, y'all, that when I talk about that's that Roland Martin audience. That's that Roland Martin audience. They talk just like him. They're all of one accord here. They talk that silliness. They see us talking about blackness. That's a negative. They want to talk about something that is white daddy approved. Abortion is white daddy approved. Telling black folks, y'all need to talk about some other stuff here. You is anti-abortion and pro-technology. Who in the hell argues to be against pro-technology? Who in the hell argues that? What is your agenda? What's the benefit of abortion? What's the benefit of being against technology? Nigga, you're calling me on technology, harassing me in my audience. You're listening to my program on high technology. You're calling on technology. You're everything you're doing is technologically based, and then you trying to sit here and pull off some con job. Well, you ain't pro-technology, nigga. You're pro-technology. Well, see, there's a different dude. See, the issue is if you talk around to old, silly niggas long enough, they got time to sit around and talk and be silly. There's the problem with having a pension. The problem with having, to the old folks who are on the pension there, y'all know I'm telling the damn truth. Because any of you old folks, y'all know full well, there's a bunch of old people y'all don't even like talking to. Y'all don't like talking to an old nigga with a pension. He can sit there on his damn porch and talk to you for 7 or 8 hours and ain't said a damn word. Like, you got that uncle of yours, he old, but you can talk to him for like 30 minutes and you got some good game. Then you got that old nigga down the street, he'll be there at 7 in the morning and be talking to folks until 9 o'clock at night. Ain't said a damn word. Got a Schlitz malt liquor or a Miller Lite, been there and ain't got up for a bathroom break. Will sit there and talk to your ass for 12 hours, ain't said nothing. Not a damn word. Done reviewed his whole damn life. covered his whole damn life. It's like, nigga, your life was trash. You didn't do nothing. I thought you were about to give me some wisdom and game me up and give me somebody I could use. This nigga ain't talking about nothing. Nah, you know Rodney Earl. Rodney Earl. You don't know Rodney Earl? Yeah, that's Percy Earl brother. You ain't know him? You know Rodney Earl over there, yeah. And one time, when we was kids, now just understand this, one time we were kids there, we was coming home from the sock hop. They had a sock hop at the school one time. And when we were coming back home there, we had gone by the store at the Circle K. And went by the Circle K there, and when we walked up in there was the white woman behind the counter, and you think, okay, white woman behind the counter, okay, we got to get some racial history. And I went over there, and I picked up some now and laters. The now and laters was good, though. The now and laters was good, especially the tropical ones. I like them tropical ones. We had some now and laters, and then we got some ho-hos. And we walked up to the woman there, and we said we would like to purchase these. And the woman looked, and she said, you know we have a 2-for-1. And Rodney Earl looked at me, and I looked at Rodney Earl, and I said, 2-for-1? Why'd you just go grab one then, Rodney? And then we left out as, where in the hell is this story going? I done heard about the damn sock hop, now and laters, ho-hos. We in the store, we're leaving the store. What is the point of the store? Where is this going? It's not going nowhere. He's got time. You have to be up for work in the morning. He doesn't. That's the problem. Call America 318. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Jason, this is Feel Good calling from Vicksburg, Mississippi, right here on the border of Toulouse, Louisiana. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So, I had to call in, man. What's happening, bro?
And you talk totally different from him.
Look, we don't claim him. When I was listening to him, I had a problem with dude. Look, I'm old enough to I have been through 2 race riots in Milwaukee. That brother ain't got the soul of a Milwaukeean. He is way off code, and nothing he said we can't even claim. He that dude from somewhere else, and we gonna figure it out.
Well, he is either from overseas or over the rainbow. I'm not sure which one it is, but in his case there, like I say,
from over the rainbow, probably.
You can tell he ain't right. You can tell the rainbow or the cow that jumped over the moon, one of the 3. So, and like I say, he got time to sit up here and say silliness as old as he is talking this crazy.
That dude. He sat up there and justified killing black babies. Man, I almost jumped through the phone. Anyway, Jason, I know you got a lot of calls to take, man. You have a good night, bro.
Thank you very much for giving this call tonight here. Wisconsin calling in to disown that fool. They called in to disown him. Call America 301. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, this is Nicole. I'm calling from PG.
Okay.
PG, Maryland. I'm sorry.
Nicole calling from Prince George's. What's on your mind?
I just wanted to add on to your point about how you said that, they're letting, Roland is out here advocating and pushing down the abortion ban in, black people's face as if that is something that we should get behind, when the I shouldn't say real issue, but another point of view I wanted to add to that is because white people's numbers are dropping. The 2020 census, their numbers went down. And as you've taught us, it's a numbers game. So they want white women to stop getting abortions because they can't have them as fast as they're aborting. They're not, living
Well,
longer.
it's a little more diabolical than that. It's a little more diabolical. When you take a look at Roland's background, when you take a look at Karine Jean-Pierre's background, so you got these folks of Haitian descent. Do you notice that none of them were advocating abortion in Del Rio, Texas for those Haitian illegals coming over? Then they want to park. They want to sit up here and constantly remind you about, you need abortion. But I notice for their people, and by the way, why don't you go? You don't have to do it in America. Why are you not advocating for wholesale abortion back in Haiti? You notice they don't mention a word about that. They don't mention abortion as these folks here never mention abortion as the quote unquote solution to any problem on the planet, except when we show up. When we show up, all of a sudden, Roland and Kareem Jean-Pierre, we got to have abortion. But when they're with their people, now put that damn abortion thing down. We ain't doing that. I just wanted you all to know this, by the way. That's diabolical. If abortion is so important, then we need to have a clinic down there at the border to let them chicks know, by the way, we can get this patched up for you real quick. And yet you never hear any of them advocating for that. I submit to you that's not an accident. That is the strategy.
And then like you said, they're advocating for that. They're shoving it down our throat so they can tether in and take our place. But that's not going to happen at all.
Well, if we played dumb about it, it could. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Who in the hell is this? Area code 225. Who is this?
This is James again from Baton Rouge.
Okay, James from Baton Rouge. James from Baton Rouge here. That's good to hear here, James. We glad to hear that.
Quickly, I'm from Laurel, Mississippi. That's where my people are from. And secondly,
your people are from the Betty Ford Clinic. That's where your people are from.
Excuse me, from the who clinic?
Your people are from the Betty Ford Clinic. That's where they from.
Oh, I see. Oh, so you just want to insult me? Okay, all right. Well, I would just say this, that this is an opportunity for you to learn some things if you will listen. But you seem to have an agenda.
Are you going to put somebody else on the phone? Because I'm willing to learn, but I can't learn nothing from you. So are you about to put somebody else on the phone?
Well, let me tell you who I am. I'm the most comprehensive thinker on earth ever.
Ever?
Ever.
More comprehensive. You're more comprehensive. You are more comprehensive of a thinker than Dr. Robert Oppenheimer, Albert Einstein, Malcolm X, Carter G. Woods. You're more comprehensive than any of them.
Well, brother, can I give you some proof?
No, I just want to make sure. I'm going to make sure I understand this correctly. So you're more comprehensive than Dr. John Henry Clark,
than those people,
than all of them.
Yes, all of them together.
If y'all want to know why black folks spend so much time talking in circles, it's because we got too many niggas like this saying stuff like this. What makes you more of a comprehensive thinker than all those people put together, sir?
So could you listen for a second and I'll tell you. I can show you how to see everything in anything. That is to say, one of the things about Einstein, when he developed his theory of relativity, one of the things Arthur Eddington said about that is that very few people could understand his theory of relativity, right? Whereas the models that I'm going to advance are models that everybody can understand. So the difference is that everything I'm going to say has the property that it's wide. It applies to every possible subject. It's deep. I'm using the very fewest words to make the most profound observations. It's accessible, meaning that you only have to have a third-grade education to understand it, and it's balanced. It requires you to use both your heart and your mind. Other people, regardless of their academic or whatever credentials, they haven't developed this ability.
Okay, can you tell me what was the innovation of Einstein's theory of relativity? How did it change our previous conceptions about physics?
Well, we had Newtonian physics that basically talked about gravity being a force. And what Einstein said is that gravity refers to the curvature of space-time. Of course, at the same time, there's another philosopher in France. What's his name?
Einstein was not a philosopher. Einstein was not a philosopher, sir.
Well,
neither was Newton.
This is a philosophical position. Einstein was obviously he was a mathematical physicist. He was a theoretical physicist, is what it was. But there was this fellow Bergson. When Einstein developed
who was Einstein's teacher?
You got me. I don't know.
You ready to get off my damn phone yet?
So what? You mean if I don't know Einstein's teacher, then that means I'm a fraud?
No, sir. What I'm saying is you're the most comprehensive thinker that mankind has ever witnessed, and yet you know Einstein, but you do not know his very well-known teacher.
But brother, see, it's the same
How
thing
could the
when I was
most
talking about
comprehensive thinker who has ever touched planet Earth not know Einstein, but not know his teacher?
Because that's not relevant to know. That's why. In other words, when I talk about comprehensive thinking, I'm talking about things relevant to know. In other words, the fundamental objective of human beings is to live. I've developed models that enable human beings to live on the planet, to live in harmony with themselves and their environment, and nobody else has ever even thought of doing this. Now, let me say this.
Abortion is part of your strategy for human beings to, quote, live.
No, brother. Abortion is a strategy. You know what the politics are in this society right now. We have some people, the Trump people who you claim you just can't ever say anything negative about. These people are anti-black, and you don't want these people to have power.
Okay, what political? Tell me the political party. Who is pro-black, sir?
Well, it turns out that our society is anti-black.
Okay, sir, you're trying to distill it down to Trump. I don't back any political party or any political candidate. My channel is full of videos that have excoriated Trump while he was president, sir. Sir, you're going to be quiet. Sir, you're not going to distort. Sir, you are not going to distort and lie about things, and you're not going to talk over the host either. You will not do that. My channel has plenty of videos absolutely ripping Donald Trump. Just because you're new to planet Earth logic and sobriety doesn't mean that that's not the case. You're just slow and you don't know anything about the channel, and you're too intellectually lazy and too unintelligent to find out before you say something stupid. However, name one thing about Donald Trump that you cannot say about the Democrats or any other political party.
That Donald, in fact, here's a classic example right here. The protests that are going on in the campuses around the country. One of the things about the Democrats is that they say that even though these protests are clearly civil disobedience and violations of the law, therefore there ought to be consequences for violating the law. In the case of Trump, they were engaged in civil disobedience, and what they said is that because they think they are right, they therefore ought not to have any consequences. I think that's a fundamental distinction, because one of the things that happens is that we all can be wrong.
Sir, this is nonsense. Donald Trump's people are being held accountable. A bunch of them have been sent to jail with a bunch of Republicans. Sir, Donald Trump's been his people. Sir, you're wrong. Sir, you are wrong. Sir, Donald Trump is being held accountable by other Republicans.
Well, he's not being held accountable by other Republicans.
Okay, sir, he has literally disassociated himself from Mike Pence, Mitch McConnell, and a bunch of others because they said that what happened on January 6th was wrong. You're just lying your way through life.
And they said, and all of those people said they're going to vote for him.
Sir, you're lying. They didn't say that.
Every one of them did.
The folks I just named, sir, the folks I just named said the opposite.
Mike Pence, Mitch McConnell, you name the people.
Sir,
everyone you mentioned.
Sir, first of all, everybody here, he's lying. Google will show you that. But by the way, do you have any children?
Yeah, I got two.
And why didn't you abort them? I'm sure they would be wishing for it at this point.
Well, brother, abortion is a bad thing. It's not a thing you want to do.
Okay, if abortion's a bad thing, then why did you call up criticizing anybody that you thought was against it? Why would you be? You're a guy who's in favor of bad things. You're a living contradiction, and we have enough insanity in our society without this.
Because, brother, we're at war right now. And we got to take complex positions on these issues.
You are correct. You are absolutely correct. We are at war.
Donald Trump has something to offer
Sir,
people.
You are absolutely correct. We are at war against you.
No. You're at war against technology. You just don't understand it. Technology is anti-life. I'm anti-technology.
You're using technology right now.
Yes, just like after the Civil War, Black people were doing things.
Okay, then you're a hypocrite and a liar.
Doing 100 years from
Then
now.
you're a hypocrite and a
It's one thing to
liar.
be in a situation. It's another thing to say, I don't want to be in this
Sir,
situation.
okay, you don't have to be. Get off the internet, get off the grid, go build you a log cabin in the woods with the rest of the separatists out there. There's plenty of folks who live without using technology. Get your old wrinkle ass out there with the rest of them in Wisconsin.
Those strategies are not viable because what ends up happening is that these empire builders, they come. In fact, if you remember Lawrence Summers, where he talked about highest.
Sir, Wisconsin has one of the lowest populations in America. I think it's got like 500,000 people. Plenty of folks live out in the wilderness out there. If you're against technology, if you were truly against technology, you would be with them. Sir, if you really wanted to be, if you really wanted that to be the case, you'd be out there in the woods with them. That's where you'd be.
Brother, my project is to return to the way of the ancestors. That ain't living in the woods. We wasn't living in no woods.
Okay.
We were living as a people.
Sir,
my project
why
is to return to that.
Why
And
do
by
you
the way,
think
when I
why do you
heard
think
your guy,
nobody is listening to you? Why do you think people don't listen to you?
Oh, because I ain't hit my licks yet. Oh, but by the way, people do listen to me.
You haven't hit your lick.
I'm
You
getting
haven't
ready to
hit your
publish
lick
something,
yet.
I'm probably going to publish something within the next couple of weeks.
And by the way, correction, that's 5 million, not 500,000. You got cities in America that have more people than the whole state of Wisconsin has. There's plenty of open space in Wisconsin. If a person is anti-technology, there's plenty of wilderness space you can live in where you would not encounter technology at all. If you were not the hypocrite and a liar.
You're going to encounter it there. In fact, I had a call from someone the other day, and they were talking about this island. And
no, sir, there's plenty of places in Wisconsin,
Montana,
Montana, South Dakota you can live off the grid where you are not going to encounter technology at all.
No, it turns out that the impact that we have on the environment is such that we have, in other words, our pollutants and stuff.
Sir, are you married?
They transcend the area that we're in.
Are you married?
I'm divorced now, and by the way,
I
I'm
know she is
articulating these positions that I'm having right now.
I know she got the hell up. She got the hell up out of there. 2 kids too late, but yeah, she said I'm bouncing.
She was down for paper.
Well,
and I said,
the most comprehensive thinker that the world has ever seen cannot master something as simple as an economic system.
Well, I thought that my priorities, that I have things that are more important than an economic
Okay, you're
system.
such a liar. You got things more important than technology, but you use it all the time. You got things more important than money, but you're using that all the time too. All the things you claim you're against, you use all of them. You are a lying ass. That's why she got away from your schizophrenic, bipolar, multiple personality disorder ass. That's why she did. And I'm about to get away from you too.
Brother, if you see me driving in a car and I'm complaining about driving in a car, and you say I'm a hypocrite because I'm driving in a car, no, what you need to look at is the transition.
Okay, what you need to look at is rehab.
I want to change my lifestyle so I don't have to have a car.
No.
What
you need to look at is detoxing and rehab and counseling. That's what you need to look at. You need to look at that. There's a reason your wife and your kids left you.
There's really no sense in insulting me, brother. I mean,
I'm not insulting you. I'm just reporting the news.
Of my position, bring your critique, but don't just give this kind of generalized.
How long were you in the military?
I mean,
Okay, I got 2 questions.
I've
How
never
long
been
were
in
you in
the
the military? Okay, how long were you in prison?
Never been in the military.
How long were you in prison?
Been in prison. Been in prison.
How long?
6 years.
Did I call it or did I call it? What were you in for?
Well, you know.
What were you in for? What were you in for?
Well, it was a petty crime.
I'm sure it was. So you can go ahead and tell us 3rd time, what were you in for?
Well, it was a petty crime. You're gonna.
I know. The most comprehensive thinker in the history of man. got sent to prison for a petty crime, not for a global crime, not some James Bond villain stuff. The most comprehensive thinker ever got caught by the American court system for a petty crime. You don't sound like a very comprehensive thinker.
Well, there are the circumstances of the situation, will explain that.
I know that the most comprehensive thinker in the Homo sapien species shouldn't be going to no place for something petty. He should be going to some place for something world class and world dominating.
Well, at that time I was pimping, so I wasn't even thinking about being a comprehensive thinker. It was as
so
a
you
result
so
of
you weren't
reflecting on what my
so
situation
you weren't
was
you weren't
that I
even
began
a
to
thorough
realize.
so you weren't even a thorough pimp, but you want us to believe that you're a comprehensive thinker now. You weren't even a thorough pimp.
Oh no. I was a pimp now. I mean, I don't know what you want to talk about.
I bet y'all his hoes look like Roland Martin and Cedric the Entertainer.
Well, see. In fact, one of the things I'm getting ready to write about. In fact, Pimpin' Ken did a piece the other day, and I wrote an essay commenting on him. One of the things that black men do is they think that pimping has to do with fancy clothes and fancy cars and women and so on. Pimping has nothing to do with that.
What?
Pimping has to do with excuse me?
This nigga said pimping ain't got nothing to do with fancy clothes and fancy cars. I'm about to hang up on your ass.
Right. In other words, that is about 1/1000th of what pimping is. Pimping is what people do to your grandmother and your grandfather. It's when people live off the sweat of your brow. It's when they tell you what they want you to have. When they get
if you eliminate money, clothes, and cars from the pimp game, there wouldn't be a single person trying to pimp nothing in this universe.
Well, you gotta have money to. Well,
y'all hear this damn prison babble on my phone. Y'all hear this damn jailbird babble.
If you actually talk to black pimps in America,
and
today,
you ain't one, they
tell
never
you
been one.
That the people they admire are white plantation owners. That's where their game comes from. That they were supplying services to white men, right?
Dude.
So in fact, that's what turned me off from the pimp game. Is when I actually got with some real pimps.
Okay.
And I found
How
out
old
where
were
they really
you?
coming from.
How old were you when you went to prison?
I was I think I was 18. 19. I was just turning 19.
So you want us to believe you were a pimp at 19?
Oh, no, I was a pimp at 14.
Get off my phone. Get your science fiction George R.R. Martin fictitious ass tailing off my phone.
I mean, now, if you want some real game, because, by the way, the game is told, it's not sold. That's some bullshit they tell you the game.
No, nigga, the game, your game, no, sir, your game is all smoked, no joke. Your game is smoked up and not joked up. That's your game, is smoked up. Anybody listening to you, the only thing they can do is be bored for hours.
I already told you I'm the most comprehensive thinker on earth ever, and this game I got is a game that I'm giving to you.
Nigga,
I already told you what it was.
Nigga, you ain't got nothing to give me but a migraine. That's the only thing you have to give me. Get off my phone.
If something is new, it's not true. And if something is true, it's not new.
Okay, what I need for you to do is take your drunk ass back to rehab. That is it. This game I'm gonna give you, the only thing you giving me is anxiety. That's the only thing you giving me. You're not giving me a damn thing else. I'm so glad he called in though. We needed a mascot for the old niggas. There it was. Have you ever held a long-term job? Nope. You ever been to prison? Why, I sure did. 6 years. That was a minor issue. Greatest thinker ever. All right. Where's your wife? The one that you came down with from Wisconsin. I bet you that heifer wish she can get them years back. I bet you she wish she could get them years back. Boy, I'm telling you, while you trying to sit up here and quote to me Einstein, your ex-wife wishes she could build a damn time machine. She's like, if I could get that weekend back, oh, my whole life would have been better. This nigga was nothing but a drag on it. Some of them niggas used to mix washing powder with their crack back in the day. Some of them niggas, if they didn't have, baking soda, they used to mix washing powder with their damn crack back in the day. Like, this will be a substitute. And it's like, okay, he smoked up on that, and he ain't never been the same. He ain't never been the same. Y'all know how it is. Some of them niggas was desperate for something. They was just desperate to get they smoke on. And they just grabbed any old thing. Some washing powder here. See if you make that work. We ain't got nothing else. All right. Just like, was that last week, niggas want to sit up here and blame the women for every damn thing. That nigga's 70 years old. Do you see what the hell black women was dealing with? I'm not saying that the women are flawless. I'm not saying that the women are blameless. I ain't said no lie like that. But if we just gonna keep it 100, I got to keep it 100 about the old niggas for a minute. Do y'all see what black women was dealing with? She all the way up in Wisconsin. This is the best she could do. Bro, I'm down in Louisiana. The end. Your life is done. And I bet you she waited. I bet you that heifer was putting on a whole bunch of stuff here, putting on his prison record. I mean, she sat up here and got with a failed pimp. Or at least a nigga claim he was, because he on them rocks. There ain't no pimp talking like him. That nigga is one of them dudes out there smoking the rock. He ain't passing it. He's smoking the rock. And after all these decades, he know about getting smoked out and messed up because that was him. And another thing, see what it is Einstein's theory of relativity. Nigga, do you have a theory of employment relativity? Einstein, as he endeavored through the space-time continuum and discovered that gravity is in fact a part of a fabric of space-time, which is that objects are not having a force on each other. In fact, that we are moving through space, and so it creates a curvature as it is. So if you were to take, for example, take a bed sheet and spread it out and put two basketballs on it as they sink into it, that is actually what the concept of gravity would be in that case, and we are circling around each other in that space-time continuum. Nigga, do you got a job yet? You done told me about Einstein's discovery of general relativity. Have you discovered a job? That is the problem right there. You and my ex-wife are entangled in the quantum particles of obsessing over this capitalist system construction that you are currently mired in. But you see, I have studied all of the great thinkers throughout history here. And we have determined that the rest of you are wrong there. So I am anti-capitalist. I am anti-authoritarian. I am anti-technology. I am anti-shampoo. And what I'm saying is there's a bunch of young chicks out here. Y'all laughing, but don't y'all know there's a bunch of young hoes out here today getting took in by the 21st century version of that nigga? Well, you see, princess, what it is that the pyramids as they were built there, and you are the current reincarnation of Aphrodite as we travel through the space-time continuum here. And the points of the pyramids, they create energy, and the energies incite chakras here, and the chakras are intrinsically tied to your brain and your soul. So you see, when I met you on the pole at Magic City, in fact, you were actually exhibiting your natural womanhood energy of Mayat is what it was. And as you swung your butt cheeks, the other men wanted to take that down to a lower vibrational level, but I have raised it to a higher vibrational level. So you see, for just the rest of them, you is just a thought. But to me, I understand that that is in your nature to express yourself, as we all need this right here. And if you don't mind if I can sleep on your couch tonight, I am a minister. I travel from one place. If I can sleep on your couch tonight, if I can sleep on your couch tonight, then I will be able to proselytize to you further about this. How long you been in jail? I just finished doing a 7-year bid. And that is another issue that I would like to articulate for you all here. Man, talk to them hoes. Talk to them hoes. Don't bring that to me. Talk to them hoes. There's some young chick out there right now talking to some fella in his damn underoos, wearing a damn turban on his head like the little kid from Johnny Quest, Zimzalabim. She talking to some guy wearing a fez. And he's sitting up here talking like that dude just did. He been watching A&E and every damn thing else. Every YouTube channel here. And okay, you're anti-technology. I couldn't help but notice your iPhone 15. You're not anti-iPhone. Well, you see what it is just because I use technology does not mean that I am in favor of technology. Okay, well, he don't sound like a Pookie. I mean, he sounds more intelligent and articulate than a Pookie. I met them dudes there. I mean, he doesn't sound like them. Maybe I'll take a chance with my wound with him. Oh, baby, about to strike out. You about to strike out. No. But you know who should hire him? Byron Allen. Byron Allen should. Now, I will say that one. Byron Allen should hire him. Byron Allen needs to come give old boy their job. He couldn't possibly do any worse. He couldn't possibly do any worse than the last group of gerbils that Byron hired. And he'd probably be more entertaining, quite frankly. He'd be more interesting and more entertaining, quite frankly. Speaking of which, let me go ahead and check our poll. All right, the audience has spoken. 31% of you said, yes, I should offer Ebony K. Williams a job. 69% of you said no, with over 3,200 votes counted. So it's a no by a landslide. All right. I can't offer Ebony a job. How about an OnlyFans? Okay. You think she will? Okay, let me stop. All right, she's going to make it alone for a bit. In the meantime here, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. Hey, I want to thank everyone who has contributed to support tonight's program on PayPal, Venmo, Super Chat, Carlos, everybody else here. Thank you very much for support. We appreciate that. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the Haven of Intelligent Black Thought. We do this every weekend. Click that red subscribe button. Click that yellow notification bell. Join us each and every time that we're here. If you haven't been to our website, blackchannelfilms.com, you want to go and check out our groundbreaking best-selling documentary work, 7 a.m., Gentrified, Race War, all available on DVD and streaming. Go to blackchannelfilms.com. That is blackchannelfilms.com. I'd like to thank all of you for tuning in to tonight's program. Thank you for watching live or recorded. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the anchor man of the new black media, the Black Authority. And until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, black is the future and the future is uncompromising.